we
That's
do.
cool.
That's us coming on.
Ha!
Hello, and welcome to T4 RPG, and this is Sources of Power. As always, we're just going to start on our usual mic check, so can everyone hear us?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Also, you may want to stretch the window a bit because we are tiny.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Open up the Zoom window and make it bigger.
Yeah.
Guten Morgen.
And now just reposition this.
Bienvenue. Hasta mañana.
Okay. Now I can't see the actual. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to. I'm trouble seeing the chat from the Twitch, but I shouldn't be having a look at chat. I'm a game master today. Right.
You also are having a little bit of excess from the bottom, so it goes over the chat box in the Roll20 window. So you may want.
Yep. Just spotted that. Thanks for pointing at them. Done. Okay. Now that we've got all the technical difficulties behind us.
In theory.
Hey, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. So now that we've got, fingers crossed, all the technical difficulties, despite Mr. Jinxer to the left of me or the right of me, depending on your orientation, there, we will start with the game. So we found ourselves in the city of Luxor, where I'm not sure if I would use the word brave, but our players find themselves in an ancient tomb, facing off against an unknown foe who had presented himself as a German doctor. The confrontation had ended with the timely intervention of Mr. Relish, the Batman, to Wooster Redwood.
Lord Wooster Redwood, I meant.
As you can see, Lord Wooster Redwood can break the fourth wall when he hears the GM talking about him. There.
Real quick, how do I get to the chat?
And what, in Twitch?
Yeah,
You should be.
because normally I see it, and now I don't. I just see the website, the rules, and Twitter, and the Discord, and YouTube, which you guys should all follow, by the way, 2x4RPG, but don't see the chat.
I don't. I'll just quickly send you. So.
It's being all weird. But that's okay, guys. I took the opportunity to make sure that you know to check out the website and the Twitter. It's that's where I'm on. That is most certainly where I am.
Make sure you're clicked into channel one and not like say on videos or clips or something like that.
You may also want to refresh the window.
That'll be another one. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, as you were saying, death, doom, Egyptian things, blah, 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 blah. Continue as you were.
Yes. So, the scene opens up. A shot has just been fired, and the body slumps. As everyone's starting to take time to calm down and take stock of what happens, Wooster, you look down at your arm, and you notice a wee bit of... Well, look down there, and you see a wee bit of crimson starting to seep into the actual material of your shirt.
Oh, Lionel, I just had this cleaned.
You hear the caulking of the gun, and it's like Mr. Ellis is just going, I do apologise, sir, you just moved at the last second.
Well, no worries there, Mr. Alish. Your arrival was timely. Now, since we are unable to save the dear doctor, let's get the hell out of here, as the Germans say.
Of course, sir. If you follow me, sir, I've got a lantern with me. Here.
Of course.
See, he grabs the lantern there, and he goes to move out there, and it's just. I'm assuming are you gentlemen following him, or what are you? Well, I'm assuming Wooster's at least following him. There.
Lord Wooster takes to look at the swordsman. Well, Mr. Swordsman, would you be inclined to following us?
There we go. Yeah, it's still kind of an emergency situation, and in any emergency situation, I'm going to go with the military officer that's in charge. So I take up the rear.
Okay. As you're, walking out. You're walking out of the corridor into the cool air of the night. You notice that it's actually deathly quiet. It's just as you... Can I get you gentlemen to do a focus roll?
If you insist.
Yes.
5.
Okay. So, Wooster won't really hear anything, but what our dear knight hears is he hears a slight rat-tat-tat-tat of a drum going off in the distance.
Okay. Is it in front of us, behind us, to the right, to the left?
It's off in the distance ahead of you, it would be.
Off in the distance. I mean, is it a soft sound, or is it getting louder?
It's getting slowly but surely a wee bit louder to your impression as you're listening to it. It is getting louder. But
I inform Wooster and Red. What is the name of the bagman?
Mr. Relish.
Mr. Relish.
Say again.
Relish.
Relish. Okay. So I inform them of what I've heard.
As you're saying that, Relish is just getting the revolver and he's just spinning it as he's putting new bullets in, and he just clicks the barrel back into place and puts the revolvers back into his holsters and starts moving off in front of you. And it's like...
Mr. Relish, take the point, scout ahead. We'll follow 15 paces behind you.
Very good, sir. And you just see him move off, but the thing that the thing that you definitely, at least the knight would have also noticed, was where there had been soldiers beforehand, lying around, their bodies are missing.
I stop the general, captain. I don't know what your official rank is.
Captain.
Okay. I stop the captain for a second and kind of point down and motion about the bodies.
Indeed. I do believe I had the men evacuate with Mr. Relish, but I was certain that a few of them did topple. Perhaps they were dragged away. But where are the remains of the rioters? This I do not know. We must investigate as soon as we can recoup at the base of operations. There's no time to lose.
So, what are you gentlemen doing there?
Well, turning the base, obviously. This is the most technically sound action.
Okay. So you head off slowly but surely towards your actual back to your quarters and your nice very nice quarters, we say, as you had got that all dolled up for first
Exactly.
dolled up first before you had taken over there. And you're just noticing that there. And now, Wooster, you're hearing that there's this rat-a-tat-tat of these old, and you would recognise it from the parade ground. It's it's a Welsh drum.
The Welsh drum?
Yeah. That
No, we had a Welsh company in this area.
Hmm.
Well, that is odd. Quite odd.
Mm-hmm.
Where are my lads? Any sign of them so far?
No, this is the thing. It's definitely quiet. It's as you're coming up to your quarters, Mr. Relish just stops and he says, "Sir, there's someone standing at the door to your quarters."
Well, that is hardly surprising.
Yeah, but if he's looking at us, he can see us. He's not challenged me, sir.
Well, then I would assume it's a friendly. There's a approach.
I take I go from behind the captain to on his right, just so that I can block anything incoming if I need to.
So the captain obviously takes it with a stride, affixing his cap and going forward this man at the quarters, though the soldiers being missing is certainly an option. Lieutenant, is that you?
You just see the
Sorry, Lieutenant.
You see the shape just kind of slowly shuffle. He's dragging one foot, and the head just kind of turns and like faces you, and you can see the trickle of blood that's been running down the throat, and all you hear is a gargling sound. And he just slowly raises his hand and takes a step towards you.
Oh, my good man, please speak up. I cannot hear what you're saying. Enunciate if you can.
How far away are we?
I'd say you're about 20 feet away.
Okay. 20 feet. Okay.
Are you not a bit far from the leper colony?
Well, if it's a leper, it's not the usual colours he's wearing. He's wearing a lieutenant's uniform.
A lieutenant's uniform? Lieutenant, are you quite all right? You don't seem too well. Where's the medic? Medic!
It's just slowly as he steps into the light from your lantern, you'll notice there that he's got a massive gash that's been cutting into his body. And the actual skin is not red with life, it's actually deathly white.
Due to my esoteric enthusiast nature, would I know what this is?
Right, okay. Give me an intelligence roll.
Hold on. The
Oh,
my things are a little
that is
hard.
one ghastly sight.
My thing is a little hard to see. Okay, intelligence second from the bottom. All right.
Yep.
Got it. Give me a second. 2.
Okay. You. I'm not asking you to do a roll on fate here, okay? On your fate points. What you probably never come across this phenomena, but you've got a suspicion what it is.
Okay.
Based on you're getting that kind of, you're getting that just a tingling down the back of your neck, which suggests very nasty magic.
Okay.
There.
I say, Captain, I think there's some magic involved here. Let me
Magic,
try.
don't be daft. No such thing.
You see the giant sword in my hand, right? Because this thing is not just a regular sword.
Yes, obviously. It is very well crafted. But I wouldn't call it magic if somebody knows how to make a sword.
Wooster, do a focus roll for me, please,
Wow.
as you're looking at the sword. Okay. As you're saying that, and you're looking at the sword, your eyes just catches on. So it's a saber, and there's the guard that's coming over that comes over the hands to protect the fingers from a slash. But what you see is just worked into what appears to be a nail. And on that nail is flecks of red that, at a quick glance, you would assume to be rust. But as you're looking at it, you don't think it's rust. It's too well clean and too well maintained to be rust. It's blood, but you get a feeling that there's just something about that wee bit of article that's a bit more than you've seen blooded weapons and all that, and you feel the loss of life, but you sense that there's something more behind that than anything else.
That's certainly odd. And that's when Lord Wooster pulls out his sword and points it towards the lieutenant. Close enough. Stan, you're getting too close there, boy.
Do I have any rope on me?
I wouldn't say you have it. You probably were carrying some rope, but you probably left it back. That's the way I would be looking at it. Unless if you want to spend a fate point there,
We haven't got to refresh yet, so I don't have any.
I'm willing to class this now as a new scene there that we've got out of the tomb. There's.
So have we refreshed?
Yeah, you can refresh it. Yeah.
So then I have 2 fate points at this time, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I still don't quite know how to keep track of them on the chart, but I can keep track in my head.
Yeah.
So it's only 2. But I'm not going to. I'm going to look around, and if I need to focus roll, since we're at a camp. Since we're at a military camp, I assume there would be some kind of rope, and I want to see if anything is within 5 feet. I don't want to go any further than that.
No, that's fine. I'm not even. Give me a focus. Give me a focus roll. There.
3.
Yeah. You notice actually a coil there that's actually of sufficient length, I think, for your purposes. There, actually, a couple of steps to your right. There.
And then the captain's on my left. So without taking my eyes off of Lieutenant, I kind of bend down with my eyes still there and pick up the rope, and I start to move behind him.
What happens is as you try to move around the lieutenant, you see the head just try and track you, but the eyes don't follow. And it's like a kind of a shambling shuffle as he tries to turn around to follow your movement.
Okay.
Where he ends up presenting his back to Wooster.
Well, that is certainly something I did not expect from the lieutenant. Are you able to deal with this man? I will go and see if there are other survivors.
Give me a second, and I say, how good's your catching arm?
My catching on?
And at that point, when he says that, I throw the rope over his head to have the captain try to catch it,
Okay.
since I've got his attention now.
Give me a dex roll, Wooster.
What is a dex roll?
I'll be on haste. Sorry. I can't remember to use the terms from Fate or...
Well, apparently his reflexes are much better than he thought, and the rope ended up in his hand.
Yeah, I'll give you that. There. Yeah, so yeah.
What are you intending to do with this? Not to tie down an officer of His Majesty's army?
Well, we at least need to make sure that he's in his right capacities before we do anything else.
Lieutenant! To your bed at once.
It's just at that the head just turns around again to face towards Wooster, and the body shuffles and starts to inch closer and closer and closer.
Lieutenant, that is close enough.
Nope, he keeps coming.
How far away is he? Like, sorry, in relation to me and in relation to Wooster.
Right, so initially you were probably equal distance out on him. He's in the middle.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, each time I'm saying closer and closer, he's literally taking a dragon step towards him. So he's about three steps closer to Wooster than he is to you now. Probably both of you are about, maybe I would say 7 steps away from him.
Okay.
Just to give yourself. So if he was.
So that's still within body length for me. Because I'm thinking that's like 5.5 feet maybe. I'd like to do a not really a baseball slide, more like a football tackle, American football tackle. And in American football, you're going to aim low. I'm trying to buckle his knees out from under him so it doesn't injure him necessarily, but it takes him to the ground so he can be subdued if he needs to be. So I'm tackling him from behind.
Okay, give me a.
I kind of on his the back of his thigh.
Okay. Give me a force roll, please.
Force is 3rd on the sheet.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Again, I'm just trying to look at this thing. Yeah. Okay. All right. 2.
Okay. So what happens is you run in and you clip him. He goes down. You hear a crack as you do it, and as you kind of bound up, you just see the lieutenant stand up again. And
I should have my arms wrapped around his legs.
Oh, that's
a football tackle.
That's more a rugby tackle in my defence. Half the tackles I see, you don't even...
You're mixing up soccer and football there, sir.
Yeah, a football tackle is here and then here.
I don't see as many grapples in the NFL when I'm. Is it the NFL? Yeah, when I've looked at it.
Yeah. All right.
Half the time you just seem to go, right, I'm just going to push this guy and then stand up over him and just taunt him there.
All right. Well, but yeah, that was the intention is to do a rap tackle.
Right, okay. So that's more like what we do in rugby. Okay. Okay, so what you're hearing, right, so you've got him on the ground, so you're on top of him then. Okay. So
Well, I would be just on his legs. That's all.
just on his legs. Right, okay.
So if he's here, I've just kind of grabbed him down here. That's why I said kind of like a baseball slide when I said
Right,
that.
okay, right. No, sorry. Yeah, okay. So what you're feeling is so what you're feeling is he's trying to move his body against you.
Mhm.
That crack that you heard was, his flying. You can actually feel the
bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's no scream coming out of it. If anyone else, that person would be screaming their head off.
Well, their leg just got broken.
Yeah. And there's no scream. They're still trying to struggle, and it's just the other thing you notice that blood there.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting to dry off. It's starting to clot. It's not fresh.
Okay. All right. So in order to do the rap tackle, I would have put my sword on my side because I would have needed both arms. Okay, I'm gonna try this.
Actually,
Okay.
actually, this is the point where Wooster steps in, cocks his revolver, aims it at the poor lieutenant's head, and pulls the trigger.
Okay. I'm not even gonna ask you to roll for that. Okay.
He's already pinned.
Yeah.
I look up and say, I was a couple inches from that. Just let me know next time. I agree with you. Just let me know next time you do that.
In the field, you do not always have the opportunity to inform your compatriots when you're saving their lives.
Yeah, okay. You were saving my life. Got it. And I'll just get up.
It was a good tackle, but I don't think this one is among the living anymore.
Well, a couple of the guys at MIT showed me that before I headed over to the Vatican. They say it's going to be some kind of new sport. I don't really believe them, but it seems interesting enough.
Oh, you mean rugby?
No, not. I don't even know how that's played, but the something kind of like football, but it'll be with more arms. It'll be cool. You'll see. I think it'll take off. I'm not sure.
Football. I do believe the lower classes enjoy it.
Yeah, probably. They're a bit more fancy than I am. I get up and I try to brush off my clothes and see if my cross emblem is still okay and stuff like that. So
It's just as you're doing that, you're hearing, and it's like you're just hearing a sound that's coming off from the main gates. It's the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat of those drums again.
It appears the Welsh brigade has arrived. Excuse me for a moment, and the Lord takes a glance inside his house, or his office.
while he's doing that, I get the sword out from my holster again.
It's like, so are you looking for anything in particular, Wooster?
I'm just checking if there's anyone in there.
There's no one in there, but what you're going to see when you're checking it is a pile of viscera, alright?
Say again.
Pile of viscera is there's blood.
Okay.
Oh, you know, there's been someone got slashed there, and there was a massive spray of blood, especially over the nice map that you had set up on the table with your orders.
Oh, this is certainly unbelievable. I just had this cleaned not 3 hours ago.
And it's and
All
then
this blood is rancid. I don't believe it has been here for 3 hours. It looks like days.
and it's as you're saying that, what you're seeing in the corner, just kind of tucked behind where the head of your bed would be, is actually another body there holding basically a scimitar, but the body, there's a foul smell of it, and it's as you're walking up, you see around the decaying flesh, there's some maggots coming off it, and other foul and nasty insects.
Ah, for crying out loud. I'm going to have to request a transfer immediately. Wooster turns back to leave the house and return to the Mr. Relish and Mr. Swordsman. I doubt I've heard his real name yet.
Well, I
Mr.
told you my name was Sean Renn.
I thought it was Penn.
No, it's definitely Renn. You just didn't understand my accent. It's with an R. Those things you don't say over here.
You are talking to Lord Wooster Redwood.
Yeah, you're right. I am talking to Lord Wooster Redwood.
Colonials.
I just kind of chuckle.
It's about time that Mr. Lord Redwood walks towards the sound of the Welsh drums, holstering his revolver and adjusting his shirt.
How far away is the main gate from the tent?
From the quarters of the Lord, our dear Lord there. I would say it's probably about 50 odd yards.
Okay, so it's yeah, so it's a little bit of distance. I need some clarification on something. So all of my stunts are 0, except for one that's a -1.
That's one that you paid for. That's why your refresh is down to 2. Okay.
So I can still do this. Just I don't need an extra fate point.
No.
Use it. Okay.
Just read what information I put on the stunt. Okay.
Yeah.
And that will tell you what the requirement or the situation has to be for you to use it. There.
Okay. I look over at the captain. I say, Captain, if you'll permit me, I'd like to make this area a little safer for you for when you return.
What do you mean, Mr. Renn?
Do you have a little faith?
I do not follow.
I hold my sword up, and is it cast? I guess cast would be the best way to say it, but say again.
Incantation.
Yeah. But since mine isn't really a spell, it's hard to delineate. But
what's it you're thinking of trying to do there?
I'm gonna make his quarters have a barrier of faith around it.
All right. Okay.
So that way,
maggot infested quarters. Oh, have fun with those.
Right.
Well, that way we at least have a safety area we can run to if we need it.
Right. Okay. This would be magic. Okay. So what? So there is a section on the book that covers this. Okay. So it's really and as you're using your faith,
Yeah.
depending on exactly what it is you're wanting to achieve, I say it's potentially possible for you to do, uh, and then potentially an incantation of some kind. Okay. Against your mantle. Wooster probably wouldn't be able to do it himself,
Yeah.
right? He would have to maybe make a pact with a demon instead,
Yeah.
okay, or ask someone to do it. So what you're doing is a ritual piece of magic. So really, what we're wanting to clarify is the main requirement is belief. You do
Yeah.
believe, so that's not without question. You believe in what you believe in, okay? Also, you know there is some sort of danger, so that also the fact that you're wanting to do something to protect yourself, again, that's without question. What is it that you're wanting this spell to do there, or this incantation there?
Give me a
How
second.
how are you envisioning this? Is my question.
So, what I would want to say is protect this home and obstruct those without faith, because if they are zombie like or magical, they're actually without divine faith, I should say. That because the objective is kind of make a little bubble
Okay.
around the tent, so that way those with divine faith can enter, go in and out, but anybody else is going to get is going to have to hold on, is going to have to overcome an obstacle against my faithful approach to enter or leave the zone.
All right. Okay. So what you're wanting to do is, if someone was to try and breach this actual
Tent.
this zone,
Yeah.
if you were in
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
they're basically putting themselves in contention with yourself there. Right. Okay.
So like if they try to get in the bubble, it's basically like a wall of fire or like a little
Okay.
a little thing of fire that's very much a Moses type fire.
Okay. Right. So here's the question: Is this thing? Is this going to be something that you? Because this is what I need to clarify: is how long
Yeah.
the effect lasts for. Okay. Is this going to be something that is going to potentially be there? You know, even if you were to leave, it would still be there, right? Or would it only work if you're in the place?
It does not say I have to be there. It says once per session, designated zone.
Oh, hold on. So you're going with your action. Sorry, I forgot you're going with your stunts here. Ignore me.
Yeah,
Ignore.
that's what I said. I don't have magic. I was
Oh,
literally
you
making a barrier.
could actually potentially do blessings and all that, which could work as magic there. So you could do
Well, you
it.
could have told me that last week. That would have been good to know.
It depends on the situation, though. But no, you can do your. I forgot you got your that stump there. What was that name again? Sorry.
Barrier of faith.
Barrier of faith. Sorry.
I'm literally making a barrier of faith, so I thought I got that.
Sorry. No, no, of course. Because you see that barrier of faith, that is an element of the magic of your
Yeah.
of your mantle there. Barrier of faith. Just reread it. Barrier of faith. Once per session, destiny. Okay.
And for those in the
Yep.
audience, anyone wishing to inflict harm within that zone being the captain's quarters, must first overcome an obstacle. So we're going to go with burning bush-esque wall of ring of fire versus my faith to enter or leave the zone. Ranged attacks from outside the zone are not prevented.
So the way I'm going to describe how you do it is what happens is you get your sword.
Can I do the Latin? Can I say the Latin?
Well, what happens is you're going to walk around the quarters, okay, trailing just the tip of the sword lightly against the sand while you walk on the outside. And what happens is you're saying the incantation you're wanting to say in Latin.
I go, Hanc donum presidio divina vidas abscas illas pode impediunt, hanc donum presidia divina fides absent illas pose impediunt.
And what happens is, Wooster, you see a faint glow emanate from the line that's just been traced, but it's ever so faint, but there's a slight and Freddy pulse coming off it.
Heavens to Betsy.
No, I don't know if Betsy is in the heavens, but it's certainly heavenly, yes.
It's just as that's happening, what you hear is the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat is now so loud, and it's like you turn on what has happened, because your attention's been on doing the incantation, was just been looking at what you're doing. You actually just see at the gates, maybe coming through the gates, and maybe at like the front line of it, okay, is 30 feet from where you are, 30 yards away from where you are. It's just a mass of bodies just standing in the line, and it's just more and more slowly filling in. And amongst the crowd, what you're seeing is, Scottish troopers in their khaki and their kilts there, and you're then seeing other, what appears to be local people, and then you're seeing what appears to be Egyptian army uniforms, and like amongst some of the boys, you're seeing that there's, look quite, hale, apart from a wee bit of paleness to the skin, and then others, the eyes, there's no eyes in the eye sockets, they're gone, the skin is dry and desiccated there, and then there's even some forms that are slowly just dragging themselves.
I say, Captain, you might want to go behind the line as opposed to above the line. And I just kind of take a step into the circle.
I would assume getting into the motor would be out of the question.
Getting into the what?
The motor.
The motor car.
Oh. Well, you could. I was just going to stab them all, but, I mean, that's a decent idea, I guess. We have a safety if we need it.
Yes, I would rather get out of the proverbial Dodge than stay in it. Would you like to join us, dear Mr. Reeves?
Renn.
Yes, whatever. And Wooster begs Mr. Relish to go get the car.
I'm actually going to stay put where I am. Normally, I would follow command, but I don't. I feel more confident in my faith. I feel more faith in my Christianity than I have faith in the cat.
And in technology, fair enough. Okay, right, fair enough. Wooster, so what? So you're running for the car with Mr.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So what happens is, as you're running for the car, okay, there, you just start seeing figures just starting to lurch forward, and depending on the state there, and some are just slowly lurching forward, others are more of a sprint, okay? Can I get you to do a haste roll, sir? Okay.
That's a 1.
Okay. Right. Do you want to use a fate point?
Yes, I do.
Right. So what are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to just give yourself the +2?
I'll take the +2.
Right. Okay. So what happens is, good thing you did the plus of your time with me there. So what happens is you get into the car with Mr. Relish, and it's just as you're getting into the car, you're hearing a flood against the side, and what you're actually seeing is you're seeing the face of one of your soldiers. Eyes have rolled backwards into the head, and it's just again, nice red smile there, and his head's kind of just rolling back and forwards, but his arm is just and just trying to smash through.
Mr. Relish, get us the hell out of here.
So you hear the car rattling, and it's just as you think it's not going to catch for a second, and then you hear the engine start to roar, and he just drives off. Can I get you to go on to Mr. Relish's character sheet and do a roll for me?
You know which stat would that be?
I'll just
Mantle? Nah.
Yeah, his mantles were I'll recheck what his mantles I gave him,
No, it's not going to apply to this one, I assume.
because it was what I'm going to do is he does have the it's just an ordinary 0 roll, right? But if he does roll badly, he does have the aspect. Okay.
There's a -1.
What I'll do is, if you're kind of wanting to take yourself out of this scene, is what happens is you're driving off, but in the haste to drive off, right, you hear a loud bang, and then you're hearing a kind of scraping sound. It's like Relish is going, yeah, that's when the tires burst. We're not going to.
Yes, well, keep on going. We can sacrifice the wheels.
And you just drive off. You're not sure how far you're going to drive off there, but you're hoping that you'll get far enough away from that there. As that's happening, the camera pans back over to the barrier and our knight. And what happens is you find that the quarters of the captain, the barrier, has just got surrounded by this horde there. But you then see a shuffling, and it's just slowly out the way. It's like, so if you imagine them like all
Part
like
in the Red Sea.
Yeah. Where they're like just going thump, and then as whatever is passing through is just instantly closing up again and again and again. So you see this, what appears to be an object or a person moving through, just from the way the heads are bobbing, and then slowly but surely a person's popping out. It's just as it's happened, the rat and the tat is getting a lot louder. You see a woman come through, tapping out a sequence on the drums, and she goes, it's not very often that I come across a Knight of the Cross.
Give me a second. KS2, quid mihi at TBS. Who are you and what have you done?
Why, nothing. I've only taken power. And I think you've came across my master.
Quod virum est vitos Christi. The true power is Christ. And I hold up my sword to her, hoping that it's going to glow. Like I have faith that it'll glow a little bit.
You have faith in the fallen gods. I have faith in my power. So what has happened to Kemmler? He was quite confident he wouldn't need my aid, but he's quite quiet.
You said Fubar? I'm trying to get what you said. I didn't.
No. So, oh sorry, I've lost track of what I said there. I'll just redo it. There. So, I wonder what's happened to my master. He was quite confident he would be able to handle the situation himself, but I've not heard from him.
Does your master deal in dark magic?
Deal in dark magic? My dear, he is dark magic.
Well, then, if your master is who I think he is, then technology might have beat him this time.
Oh, technology beat Kemmler? Now, can I get you to do an intelligence roll? Or intellect
Well, you
roll?
just said Kimmler, and the gentleman addressed himself as Himmler.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But like my guy would have picked up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? You said intelligence roll?
Yeah, intellect. Yeah.
0.
Right. You don't know a lot about this guy, okay?
Yeah.
Because the church doesn't really. They know about Wizards. They have the occasional contact with the White Council, but at various points, the relationships. Some years the relationships are quite good. Other years, they're not so good. There.
But you know what? I'm in a secret order. I'm extremely esoteric. I know that. I know that. I'm taking the +2.
All right. So pay a fate point, okay?
Yep.
For that, and that's So pay a fate point there. Is that you down to 0 again? There.
No, 1.
1.
I've only used 1.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry. No, you went back up to this. Ignore me. I'm losing track of my head.
There's only 2, so I got you covered.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. See, it's nice having players that keep track of everything themselves for you. Okay. What you know is, again, you know a bit more than what I was going to review. This name, you kind of gulp a wee bit because this guy's one of the nastiest wizards there are, okay? He doesn't die. He's done the death routine before. He comes back. He's a necromancer.
Makes sense.
And some of the stuff that you have heard, you're not sure about the validity of this, but there is rumours that this gentleman is one of the key causes of World War One. And stories go about how you're not 100% sure true if that is the truth, but people say that, when they're talking about it, when they're attributing stories, they say, "Well, I heard that he pulled off these machinations."
Yep.
Now, but the stories that people are willing to swear that they know the truth, he was working on the Eastern Front, and I can't remember the name of the actual event, but there's an actual true life story. What happened was the Germans tried a chlorine gas attack on the Russians on an old castle, and they killed most of the troops, and the rest of the troops were literally hacking up their lungs, but they were able to muster themselves enough to do a counterattack against the Germans, even though they're outnumbered, and they scared the Germans shitless, right? What the story is the Germans were always making up stories about they thought they were fighting zombies and the dead, while the Russians said no, these were the remaining survivors who marshaled up their courage to actually run, right? What people are saying, they attribute what happened there to him and other such incidents. At certain points, zombies would just rise up and just wipe out our opposing force and then suddenly disappear.
I look at. Did she state her name or not? Did I miss that?
She hasn't stated her name. She's just stated that she is with him. The other thing you know is the stories talk about that it's not just him. He's got a small following of devotees there.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
And there's some, people talk about how if it was just the White Council going after, like say one of the lesser ones, they would send a heavy squad.
Okay.
Fair. So she's just going. So she's just looking at you.
I say, what is it that you want exactly?
Oh, dear knight, there's nothing that I want from yourself. But the contents of the tomb will be most illuminating to us. You stay there in your bauble, and I'll leave you alone. And I'll just disappear and you'll never see me again.
I think for a second. Okay. I don't know how you want to play this. Okay, so the cleric ability that's like the D&D cleric ability that's like level 10 or level 20, it's kind of like divine intervention, where like I'm looking for a sign as to where to go. Doesn't matter what sign, because I'm like super looking for one right now. Like I'm just holding my sword out and I'm like, Christ, give me direction.
It's just as you're saying that, she just takes a step backwards and goes back into the crowd. Okay.
Okay.
And what happens there is enough of them seem to kind of wander off. Okay.
Okay.
So, your kind of suggestion is, it looks like most of them are probably following her, but there's still a sizable amount
that are guarding me.
Are guarding you.
Are they going to the tomb?
The other crowd is going to the tomb there.
How many are around me? Can I tell?
Is
it like one line? Is it two lines around the ring? How many
probably,
lines around the ring?
You think at some points it's maybe 3 or 4 lines deep at some points,
okay.
But there's a wee bit of jostling stuff, depending on where they're moving. But at the same time, none of them are getting within 5 feet of that ring, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's time for some hack and slashing while you go to Rooster. and I don't know if you want to cut to him, but when we or if we want to do it now, but I'm just going to start hacking zombies. I don't have any allegiance to this British military, and they're very obviously dark magic. I'm just going to start stabbing. And then I'm gonna. So here's my ring, right? Okay. So I'm gonna like stab, and then jump back, and stab, and jump back, and keep doing this little dance around the ring.
Right. Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do there is I want you to do a haste roll, okay?
Yep.
I want to see how good you are moving in and out.
1.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to take a fate point for that.
Alright,
so.
okay. I'm going to see how well react.
They do.
So this is going to be the situation. If you kind of lose it, you're going to find yourself in that general mall, okay?
Okay.
If you beat it, it's just going to take time, and that's basically what's going to, be the seem to be like the session unless something else happens. Okay.
Got it.
Right. 2 for me.
Okay.
So you're doing it, and like for the first kind of 5 times, you get through. You take a slice there, you do another one, but it's just like on the 6th time, you take a step out, you then get the sword, the sword in.
Yeah.
You're pulling it out, and you're taking a step back, and it's just as you're kind of like moving and swaying to the side just to try and avoid any blows. The back of your heel, as it's moving back, just clips a rock that's just kind of jutting out a wee bit, and you just go kind of sprawling there, and it's suddenly, they're moving towards you there. What I'm going to do is, because they're still, they're actually moving in towards you, you've got a chance for a desperate slash. Yeah, I'm going to let you go first here.
Okay.
If it's if you're going to do a slash, but if you're going to be like trying to get up, that's probably going to take a moment. They're going to be probably on you. Okay, so it's up to yourself.
And instead of taking a slash, can I do a I can't really show it with but I want to do a barrel roll on the ground and kind of army roll. That's what I'm thinking of. I want to do an army roll back into the barrier. I don't want to like go up and be like, and then I'm just gonna kind of like dive back and
right. If you're gonna try,
even if I take a couple hit points of like somebody hitting my leg or something.
Right, okay. What I'm going to do is I'll give you, that's your defense, right? You're trying to roll out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Roll into the barrier, yeah.
Yeah, that's your defense. So they're going to be trying to attack you, okay?
Yep, got it.
So you're going to be doing a haste roll for that.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's your defense.
I got a 0. I will take a +2 on that.
Okay, and that's you down to... Okay. So what happens there? Do I want
is always a wonderful thing for the DM.
I know.
For those listening at home, that's not a good thing for the players.
Yeah. Because this is the thing. The GM gets fate points also.
Yeah. We talked about that at the end of last session.
This is the thing I keep forgetting to use. I try not to be over minion. Actually, I don't even need.
That's also not good. I don't even need a fate point. That is also very, very bad for the players.
Okay. Because this is the Horde, right?
Yeah.
Horde, basically, the orders from them is quite clear. She's putting them there as a barrier.
To stop you. Yep.
Yeah. So they're trying to stop you. So they've got a resource that I can tick off that works as basically like a fate. I can now use it to activate the aspects. So they're the minions of a necromancer. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happens? I'm being a wee bit nasty because I'm feeling a wee bit sore from last time there.
What happened last time? The 3 negatives? Or
yeah, so I just want to give you a feeling of how it works. So, no, I don't hold grudges, honest. No, so it's going to be a 5. You rolled a 0.
I rolled a 2 now.
You rolled a 2. So you're going to take 3 damage. There. So 3 stress points. Or you could take Imperil and just take nothing, but you take an injury of some kind. So
I'm trying to remember. I actually don't have any of them that like any of my stunts that work with Imperil. Question. I had 1 stress from last time.
yeah, so that'll be you up to 4.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so what happens is if you're wondering that would the Imperil knock back the last one? No. Sorry?
I'm wondering, when do you recycle the stress?
Ah, sorry. Of course. That stress point, that was from a previous scene, you lost it, right? So you're actually back
Okay.
to full health.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me about that there. So
Okay. So I'll take the 3 hits.
So you take the 3 hits. Okay, no, that's right.
I've got 3 left. I'm a strong guy.
Yeah, and you then got the Emperor and you got the Doom, which allows you to negate damage that you're taking from other ones there. And even if you were to lose it, depending on the situation, it just means that you've been able to contest the situation. It doesn't mean you're necessarily dead, okay?
Yeah.
It just means that you're potentially not in the ability to contest it, okay?
Yep.
And that allows maybe the opponent to achieve their goals for that scene.
So I've got half health, so that's fine. I can handle that. So did I make it back to the barrier?
Yeah,
then,
you
with
get
the hit points? Okay.
But what happens is you feel a couple, them grabbing you, and there's a couple like scratches. There feels like one of them had actually a sword, and you feel like a slight scratch, as you.
Is it on my sword side or on my other hit side?
I would say it's on your off arm there.
Okay.
You're kind of rolling away, and that's when it just kind of sliced.
Got it. Okay.
There.
Okay.
And you're in.
Cool.
And as that, you're then just like kind of panting. You're going, we're going to go back to Wooster. There. So Wooster, you find yourself and the car that you've been in is not going to be traveling anymore. It's found itself finished, smashed up against a building there. Relish is just going to say, I'm sorry, my lord, it's that second charge when it blew, I couldn't control the skid.
Well, next time we'll have full rubber tires instead of the air-filled ones. I knew these would never catch on. It's useless. Well, that's not your fault. The road is probably full of sharp objects. Now, find an alternative method of transportation.
It's as you're having this conversation, there's a door. The door opens, and it's go. What are you doing? You can't be out at night. The dead are frozen. You need to get inside. Hurry! Hurry!
Yeah. Thank you kindly. Go on. At least you're first.
And it's like this gentleman, quite small in stature, and he's just like gesturing to you, and he brings you, just rushes you to a hut or like a small house, just on the other side of the street there. And just quickly just gestures you and practically putting hands on you to get you inside. And just is getting the door up, and then he's getting whatever he has in the house against the door. It's like, what were you doing outside?
Well, we were at the British garrison just a moment ago before it was overrun by the dead, so to say. We managed to get out with our necks intact. Oh, for your hospitality, here you go.
No.
No, I insist.
Sahib, I'm not going to insist. I am just doing what Allah tells me I need to do. You were in distress. You needed help.
That is most kind of you, and I am doing what my conscience tells me to do. I insist.
If you say, um, what you said you're from the garrison. How did you escape? The,
It was a motor car, of course, until it crashed into your building, I assume.
do you know if anyone else?
As far as I know, only the American survived, but he was left behind. He refused to follow us into the car. I take it that you had family in there.
I don't know. I was at evening prayer. I had left the mosque. I was walking down the street and we saw this crowd of people slowly assemble and moving off. My child, she ran off to. She was always an inquisitive one, wanting to see what's going on, but I don't know what's with that crowd. They're delirious. They, oh my, Allah preserve me. They killed my child.
Well, my condolences, good man. I don't know what to say.
I but I can't explain it.
There are some dark forces at work here. The American told me that it is dark magic that is abound.
Allah preserve us. It's grim times, but my daughter was innocent. Why would she raise from the dead? Why would she turn into one of these monsters?
Dark powers do not ask permission, as far as I'm no.
But shouldn't Allah protect us from this? Shouldn't God protect us from this? I am a dutiful man. I pray every day. I give praise to God. Why should this happen?
That I cannot answer. That is a matter of faith between you and your God. But all I can say is that I am grateful that you've been spared and you were there to save us when the time arrived. Much as for your daughter, perhaps God is testing your faith.
He just walks and he's just like, I am not sure I can live in a world without my hope. Why should I live in this world?
Because there is more to being good. There, those with good souls are the ones that suffer the most.
What happened at Karnak?
I am not quite certain what happened there. I was in the thick of it, but it was dark. And suddenly everything was over. It was, as far as I could tell, incantations of some dark nature. I could not make it out. I'm not a man of science or magic. I'm a man of earthly domains.
Pat, you said magic. Where?
At the Temple of Karnak.
What part of the temple?
The underground part, I assume. The new dig site.
We told them not to dig there.
Yes, well,
Don't
I only arrived yesterday. I could not help that.
you, I know you have no fault, but you outsiders, you sometimes interfere in things you do not understand.
Or perhaps they interfered in things they understood far too well. I must say, I find this whole thing to be a planned event.
There were, yeah, there was some doctors or archaeologists, is that the word?
Yes.
That seemed more interested in what was underneath Karnak than what was in the valley. We had persuaded the previous diggers to go to the valley, not to really look under Karnak. There's a curse there.
A curse, you say?
A long time ago, you've heard of the god Anubis?
Yes, a passing mention.
For my people, in the dark times before my people discovered Allah, we believed in other gods. Anubis, one of them, the keeper of the dead, the guardian of the dead. And tales talk about a high priest of this god seeking power from himself, seeking to become the new Anubis. But some people found out that people with great faith and power were able to trap and entomb his soul in a golden sarcophagus.
A golden sarcophagus?
And thus his threat was stopped. But the curse says that if the right blood touches the sarcophagus, the blood of the men descended from the men who put him, who entombed that soul, was to touch it, he is freed to walk this earth once more.
Well, that is certainly most curious.
When people, there was this woman, she was very young, talking about these stories of this going. We tried to talk her away from this, but she said her and her professor, a Dr. Himmler, were most fascinated by these stories, and they wouldn't be put aside by it. I know there was some people in our community that were so outraged that they were looking for they were trying to persuade her. Some of them went off to try and persuade her not to do any more digging, and they ignored prayers. That was just like an hour or two before the evening prayer. This is what comes from seeking and being greedy without being aware of the price of the greed.
Oh, you certainly make a good point. I do believe that the archaeologist that arrived earlier today was called Dr. Himmler. And he was at the Temple of Karnak. Yeah, a sarcophagus. I can't recall if it's golden, but it was yellow. I did not get a better glimpse of it.
You, they found the sarcophagus. It, it, it has to. The tomb has to be closed back up. No one can be allowed to discover it. If the wrong blood falls onto that.
At this point, Wooster goes and looks at his bloodied shirt. It does sound like a problematic situation. As we should head back and see if we can use some dynamite to bury the tomb once more.
Yes, that might be for the best.
Do you know any back alley roads we can take?
I can lead you through the city. I've lived here all my life. I just don't want anything like this to happen to anyone else.
Of course. Do you know anyone, any place we could get some dynamite around here? I don't know how well available the garrison supplies are.
There was some archaeologists at a what's the word
Also?
not
Valiantly?
the at the inn in the plaza.
Ah,
They were talking about they might need to use such items. They might have some at their rooms. I don't think they actually left. They were talking about leaving in the next couple of days. So they might have the items there. I'm not sure what happened. Half the city, I don't know what it's going to be like.
only one way to find out. Lead to Vegas, sir.
Okay. And he slowly moves and he pulls the items away from the door, cracks it open, and he just looks out, and I'm going, I don't see anything moving, but it's very dark. We might need illumination. Do you have anything on you?
Relish, do we still have the lamp?
It's in the car, sir.
That is probably already swarming with. Oh, I do have a pocket lighter.
Right, okay. Do you mind if I...
Yes, please, go ahead.
You just see him. It takes him a couple of times, you can see he's shaking there.
Yeah, well, when he's doing that, Wooster takes a hold of his hand, radiating the confidence of British officer, and there you go, sir.
Thank you. He just slowly kind of holds it up there, and he goes, right, this way, gentlemen, follow me. It's this point we're going to go back over to our dear knight.
All right. I'm just gonna keep hacking and slacking until I can make a line out, and I'm gonna dart for the ruins.
It's before you even actually say that, okay?
Well, I tried, folks.
You see them starting to move away there.
Okay.
And And it's like, so I'm guessing you're going to be trying to follow them there.
I'm trying to go to the ruins as quick
Oh,
as I can.
right, okay. What happens is when you get to the ruins there, you find that there is another crowd, okay,
Okay.
there, and they're just standing in front, just waiting, perfectly still, in ranked after rank after rank. It's in. You just hear the faint echo of the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat coming up, from the corridor into the crowd, okay? And they're just standing still, just watching into the night.
Is there can I look for another if they're fixated, are they fixated looking into the ruins?
No, so what happened? So you see, you've got the stairway going down there. They're
Yep.
positioned there, and they're literally, think of them being in parade standing, so they're all looking
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they're kind
And
of.
I'm behind them, correct?
Well, you've kind of right. So you're more off to the side. Probably the way you've approached, you're off to the side of them.
Okay.
There, I would say, yeah. Also, because there's been a scene change, you've got your stress points back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Um,
you're in the last scene, so I'm being nice to you.
Yeah, no kidding.
You
Are they-
you bandage yourself up. There's enough time past you bandage yourself up. There.
Is there? I would want to try to find another way in.
Okay. Right. What I want. Let's have a look. So I'm going to ask you to do two rolls. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is really you sneaking around. Okay.
Okay. Is that my guile?
Yeah. So that was more like you trying to do cons there.
Okay.
So what I was saying, it could depend on what you're doing. You could be doing. It could be an intellect to actually figure out where you're wanting to step next there without disturbing things. I'd say.
Or yeah. Okay. You said it could be, and so I assumed it was
yeah. I'm just thinking.
You want me to do an intellect roll?
Intellect one would do it, or you could do a haste. You could just try and do a runner. And just hope you
Yeah.
don't hit anything.
I'm a smart guy. I'll try to find my way in with an intellect.
Okay.
3.
Okay. I'll give you that. What happens is just you're just taking your time doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're slowly just moving up, and it's like just at the occasional point, you're tensing up, and you're kind of hiding behind the columns. As you feel like, like one of them just kind of puts their head just to look at something, and you're just like going like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. You're just giving that softly counting.
Yep.
Quick look, and you're finding that the body and person's not looking in the direction anymore, and you're slowly moving your way, and you finally move out of the presence of the vast majority
Okay.
of them. It's what's happening. I want you now to do a focus roll there. That's your.
I'm a very focused person.
Yeah.
4.
Okay. What you're seeing is you're seeing a shaft of moonlight, okay? That's really caught your
Entering the tomb.
It's coming to like a certain point. So, as I said, you had the staircase, coming down,
Yep.
tombs underneath here, and you've got the shaft of light that we kind of like, if you're imagining, would be practically on top of it, okay?
Yep.
And
Yep.
you're kind of just looking at it, and you're for the life of you think there, right? there's a shadow that suggests that there might be some, like an opening of some kind that you're not. Okay, but it's like you're just not 100% sure what it is because you're maybe about 50 meters off there. Okay. Uh, think around 50 yards, mate.
Okay.
Give or take there.
So the moonbeam is coming into the temple.
Yeah. So the there's in this part of the Karnak, there's no actual roof, right? It's
Yeah.
shining down.
How tall is this?
Right. So what happens is what you've got. So you're on the flat Earth there.
Yeah.
You've got it's open, and the top is open. There's walls around you that kind of form the outer lining of it. Inside, there's these columns, okay, and in the center of it, there's basically an opening where there's no columns, and this is where you found, the staircase, or the ramp going down it deeper into the tomb. What you're finding is the light is kind of shining down, and it's just hitting what appears to be the exact center of this entire area, and there's just this kind of slight, if it was perfectly flat, it would just be perfectly illuminated. There'd be no shadows, but there's just a hint of a shadow there that suggests, like, as you're moving, like a lisp or something, or a lip or something there.
So the reason I'm asking this is,
you're wondering if they were to turn, are they going to see you? Is that what you're asking there?
Partly. So my goal is I have a fairly large metal blade. Moonlight, as an archaeologist, Sir Renn is going to know that moonlight shining into a temple is never a good idea. He wants to find a way, if possible, to get on top of the temple, to shine his sword, or even just throw his sword in a way that blocks and or reflects the moonlight to stop whatever is going on.
Ooh. Because you're thinking the all right, okay.
He wants to use his sword as a moonlight shield.
Right, okay.
Because he doesn't have a shield yet. He hasn't got that high up in the order yet.
Right, okay. I want you to do another focus roll for me, but this is just going to be a very simple one.
Ew. -1. I don't think I think I've used both of mine.
No, yeah. I'm kind of willing to actually give it to you, okay?
Okay.
That's
a pretty bad. Like that's two minuses because I have a +3 to my focus. So
yeah. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna do it by. I'm gonna give you a fate point also.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna give you a wee bit of trouble. If
okay.
We can discuss this. See if you're happy with it.
Yeah.
What this is I'm gonna basically be creating trouble on your extreme hysteric enthusiast. You've got yourself so wrapped into this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That you're paying attention to it, and what happens is you do spot that what's happened is there is, in the wall there's actually a circle, right? And that's actually what the light is shining through to come in. And you can figure out that you can eventually climb up to it, and you could then actually just block that there. If you got a rock, you could put that in, or you got a satchel, you could block that in and stop that. It's just as you're paying attention, you're figuring this all out, okay? What happens is you then get this, you don't realize that something's moved up behind you, okay?
Got it.
You happy with that?
Yeah,
Then.
yeah. That's exactly what would happen. He'd be so focused on it, he wouldn't
Yep.
register.
You're gonna get a fate point for that. Okay. For that trouble. What is? I'm being nice. I'm not giving you the entire horde. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I dealt with the horde. I've done the horde. All right.
What happens is you just slowly kind of turn around and you just notice it's just one of the ex-soldiers, right?
And I just
Okay.
look and I go, well.
Okay. Just as that's happening, we're going to go back to Wooster. There. Actually, I think it's time for a commercial break, actually, looking at the time. Okay. So, so we'll just go on to that. We'll be back on 10 minutes, people. Thank you for watching. to stream. And that's us back on. Okay, people, so as I said, we come back to Wooster Redwood, Lord Wooster Redwood, before he breaks a fourth wall again and interjects there. He is following the Egyptian that he's come across and pulling up the rear is his personal Batman, his Mr. Relish. They're slowly navigating their way through the city, trying to get to the inn where the Egyptian wasn't quite clear. He's saying archaeologists because that's what they are, but when kind of questioned further, it suggests that these are some ne'er-do-wells who are just looking for maybe a quick buck and hoping that they'll find something that will value in the ruins.
Gold diggers.
Mm.
Oh, no, that would be the wrong terminology. Tomb raiders.
Yes. From his descriptions of their apparel and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, I do believe it's Mr. Harry Croft on it again.
Yes.
But it has been getting on my nerves. Looting and tooting all around Egypt.
Yeah. You slowly find yourself out in the plaza, and what you find is a scene there that is more reminiscent of your days back on the front. The plaza is littered with bodies lying still on the ground. Most of the buildings are dark apart from one that is filled with light that's emanating out into the darkness. The Egyptian kind of stops at, just short of before walking into light, and he goes, yes, sir, that there is the inn. I've not been here, so I as a good Muslim, sir, I do not go in. Alcohol is not allowed for my people.
Well, I do believe that consumption of alcohol and being in an establishment with alcohol at this moment is excusable. Now, do follow. And Wooster takes on the point here, standing up and heading towards the inn, taking off his cap and waving it in the air to attract attention to himself.
As you're doing that, give me a haste roll.
A haste roll, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's a +3.
Okay. Okay. What happens is you hear a cog and you just pull your hat in time as a bullet whizzes above your head. There.
That hits the building next to us. Huh. It does a bit. The old trick from the trenches is still working.
You hear a shout. Now, who goes there?
Well, if it isn't bloody Americans. Shooting first, asking questions later.
We tell you, we're armed.
I noticed. It is Captain Redwood. British. The British garrison.
Come into the light, slowly.
Donning the hat, standing up, and walking towards with an impeccable grace.
Hands out where we can see them.
If I was planning on shooting you, I would be terribly outgunned. And I do believe the Hussars would be more you would be more concerned about any open wounds and lack of talking skills.
Look, we're just trying to protect ourselves. We don't know what's going on here.
I do, and if you allow me and my companions within, I can brief you on the situation.
Fine. Come in.
Elish, Ahmed, come on.
It's just as you're saying that the Egyptian goes, my name's not Ahmed, sir.
Oh, my bad. I thought
Fahid.
you introduced yourself.
And you're just, as you're walking in through the doors, you're suddenly just you're hearing the caulking as there's 12 gentlemen just pointing gut revolt 6-shooters at you.
Yeah. Captain walks in without phasing, taking off his hat and putting it on his chest, going, Lord Wooster Redwood, at your service, gentlemen.
Ryle, I don't know what you're up to, Captain, but it's not the night for taking a stroll, is it?
No, it is not. I came for your dynamite. I believe you have some.
Dynamite? What do you think dynamite can do? We're barely holding on here.
Ah, yes. I do believe the Americans have this thing called one for oneself and the rest can fuck off. Now, I am planning on ending this abominable disease that is roaming the streets, and I require dynamite. Are you willing to cooperate, or will you rather be paid?
Paid?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Obviously. How much?
Right.
Would this be enough?
The correct answer would have always been, how much do you have? Or they would have waited to see how much he brings out.
They're just looking at you and they're going, just a smidge more, mate.
Oh.
Just a smidge more.
Fine.
They just catches them. For you buying their aid, Wooster.
Yes.
You're marking up too well for this. What you're going to get is you're going to get, for each point of wealth you're buying a mob of very badly accented cowboys. I'm very sorry, Evan.
No, you're only insulting people south of them.
I didn't even know if they were American or if if they were pretending to be American, because it was that. I had no concept of it.
Yeah.
I could have done that scene if you needed me to, but it's cool.
I'm just trying to do something that's a wee bit offer from my voice. That's no one's getting confused which one's which. Now, what's the plan?
The plan is the following. We will go to the Temple of Karnak and blow it to the next incarnation. There will be some roaming bodies in the way, but our local guide is able to show us the way behind the more obvious buildings, and we should be able to reach it with minimal required force. But just in case, you do seem to be well armed.
They're just going, give us a second, and you see them going, like they're gesturing, and they go, seriously, Karnak? That's where half of them were heading. And to your question, yes, 1923. There, and half of them are. Why is that not disappearing? I don't. Just my OCD getting in line here. Just seeing that. And it's like, Karnak, that's where half of them are heading. Why would we want to go there? We're crazy. And the one that's been talking
There would be a golden sarcophagus in there if you're interested.
All of them just turn to look and go, golden, you say?
Indeed, solid gold, head to toe. I would estimate it weighs about 600 pounds.
You kind of see the green. And it's like, it's as you're saying that, you're getting a wee tug on your sleeve. It's your Egyptian friend. Great Allah, you cannot give them the sarcophagus.
I just told them it is there. I did also tell them that we are planning on blowing the temple apart.
Right. Can I get a guile roll from you? I want to see how quiet you were.
What?
I'm thinking I'm doing a roll here.
I'm going to use a fate.
Actually, you don't need to do it.
Okay, never mind.
They're so. I rolled a -1. They're so distracted. They're all talking excitedly about that gold sarcophagus. They don't even hear the words "blow up the temple" from you. Okay.
They have conveniently forgotten that was the plan.
Yeah, they're going right. Right. So you're saying you need our dynamite. What else do you need from us?
Your bullets mostly, and some delivery people able to attach these bullets to any hostile creatures.
Oh, I think you got our attention with gold sarcophagus. We're more than happy to come with you.
Just remember, follow my instructions, and we will all go home alive.
Oh, you're the one paying us, so we have no argument with that.
Exactly. Any random miscellaneous loot left behind after the operation, you may keep.
And it's just as you're saying that, we're then going to come back to our dear knight.
All right.
As you're kind of just uttering, oh, you just see the face of the soldier just looking at you, and his jaw just opens as he tries to come down to latch his mouth around your neck. So it's going to be a defense roll from you. Okay.
Okay. With what stat?
Depends on how you're wanting to do it. Are you wanting to, if you're trying to duck out of the way,
So-
it'll be haste. If you're trying to maybe do
I believe I'm on the wall.
you were kind of crouching behind a pillar. You're kind of looking around. Okay.
Have I blocked the moonlight yet?
No, you haven't got around to that. You were
Okay.
this basically what the trouble was. You were figuring out how you're going to be able to do it, but the trouble was, well, you were working on you.
Okay.
He got the sneak up on you.
I would be holding up my sword in defense.
Right. So what? Okay. So, right. I'll argue that's a force roll. You're basically attacking with. You're trying to cut into as he's moving them. Okay.
1.
Okay. Okay. What happens is as he tries to come in, you cut in and you actually stop it a second, and it's just, and it's like you just, the force of the blow just pushes him off. Okay. So that was his attack.
Okay.
There. It's onto your attack, sir. While you're figuring out or your turn at least in this round.
Yeah.
While you're figuring out, he's just slowly kind of just moving, and he's like this.
I mean, he would be holding it up, right, for defense, and then he would just do straight slash.
Right. Okay. So it's like, as you're doing that, okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to do, so are you going to be, so as I said, you are still on the mission from God. You could be, thinking of empowering yourself to do the attack and use your faithful, or if you're just reacting on gut instinct, you could just be a force attack. Is that how do you think you're feeling about this as your character?
The uh, the goal is to stop the moonlight. I know that that is the important component. He's seeing it he's seeing the monster as more of an obstacle to get in his way. So that's more instinct. He'd be using anything with mantle for the moonlight. He wouldn't be.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, okay, just get off because I got to do this.
Yeah. All right. Force. Then.
Yep.
Okay. So do your force attack.
One again.
All right. My roll. So you do the slash. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess because I'm like he's not really an objective to me. So whenever I can, I'm just going to be trying to shimmy up to the moonlight.
Right, okay.
I'm not even trying to deal with him.
All right. Okay. So you do the slash there, and it's the body just kind of lurches off to the side there, and it's just a light. You cut into the material of the uniform, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. As soon as I'm able, I'm just trying to start climbing to get to the moonlight.
What I'll ask you to do is I'll ask you to do a haste roll, okay, to get to like the wall and start climbing up, and he's gonna be. His kind of like his actual attempt is then to kind of chase after you there. So you're kind of, instead of attacking, you're going to be moving off. He's then going to be seeing if and it's going to be a contested. If you beat him, you're going to start climbing up, and it's then just a chase there.
Yep.
Okay.
Because at this point, I'm not. He doesn't matter to me.
Nope,
He's irrelevant. So,
okay, so I would say either I would say more likely this is just going to be pure haste. Okay.
Got it.
Ooh.
-1.
You still have your fate point. Remember that.
Oh, I thought we had used the fate point for getting to the focus.
No, I gave you the. Remember, I gave you the fate point for bringing the zombie on.
Yeah.
So you still have that fate point to use.
Okay.
So you can spend it if you want.
Is there any way I can use my mantle for this? Because it's this is the part that I would feel like is more the mission of God.
Which would.
I'm just debating if I want to use it or not.
Because I'm thinking this is more like if that creature was in front of you, opposing you from, I would then say, yeah, do the faithful. But it's you just trying to get, away from it, which is I would say.
Well, that's the thing is that he is in my way. That I'm just trying to get around and go.
Well, you're kind of in front of him. This is more just running away roll.
No, I'm gonna keep the fate.
Right.
Keep the fate.
Okay. What happens is you actually get to the wall, right? You're starting climbing up, but it's just as you're looking down, it's a dead heat. It's like he didn't overrun you, right?
Got it.
But he is crawling you. I rolled a -1 also, right? So it's like just basically, it's a dead heat. He's just crawling up behind you. Okay. So you're about halfway up. It's another road to get to the top of the wall there. Okay. So I'm assuming you're wanting to keep doing the same, or are you going to actually just try and kick him off before you climb up again?
Actually, I'm not going to try to kick him off.
Right.
I'm going to take my sword.
Okay.
Sword point down, and I'm just going to and try to knock him basically like on the head or the shoulder or something. It's going to be like, whoa.
Right. Okay. On this occasion, I'm willing to give you the faithful for this.
Okay. Because that, yeah, I'm not even worried about this guy. This guy, he does not merit me. I got a 6.
Okay. My defense. Okay. So what happens is as you just come down, you swipe the sword down, okay?
Pop him.
There. And it's literally it's just as it's like he's pulling himself up, okay? The pommel just comes down, you hear a sickening crack there. And it's just at that you just see the hands just let go and the body just falls and just boom.
How far am I away from the moon hole?
Distance you're from the moon hole, right? So you're climbing up. You've got maybe another like 10 feet of like another 10 feet of climbing. Okay.
Okay.
That gets you up on top of the wall where you can then walk across it, and then that's maybe another 15 feet along. There.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's well. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna start bolting forward as soon as much as I can.
What this is, it's going to be with you climbing this. Is this going to be more like a hit? Would you be doing it hastily, or are you going to be using your strength to climb up? This is my question. Or you could be using intellect also, because
yeah, I'd be looking for handholds.
Okay, right. Give me an intellect roll.
5.
Oh yeah. You take your time, but you get up there, and it's like you're taking a moment just to catch your breath, and you pull yourself up, get up, and you start walking there.
How far from the ledge? So if here's the ledge and I'm on top of it now, is the moon portal below me?
Yeah, it's going to be below you, but what you'll be able to do is like if you can sit down and like straddle it, you would be able to like and then like lean down with your chest against it. Yeah, it's reachable with your arm there.
Okay, good. Because as soon as I get to it, I just want to dip my sword down like it's on the edge of a pool, and I'm just on the edge of the ledge, and I just put my sword down because I want to redirect it. I'm not trying to block the hole. I want to redirect the light.
Right. As you do that soft rat-a-tat-tat-tat that you're hearing, okay? Pauses for a second. You're hearing a cursing, right? And that rat-a-tat just speeds up. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. And what happens is when you're looking off, you see that nice horde of zombies that were waiting there?
Yep.
They all kind of just turn in unison. Thump. It's a Flash Mob Doom thriller. No. They all turn in unison.
Are they looking at the moon hole? Please tell me they're looking at the moon hole. Okay, so because I'm right-handed, so I've got the sword down, and with my left hand, I'm just looking around, and I'm really hoping that evil cocky lady is down there looking as well, and I just go, hey.
And so you just hear the rat-a-tat, and you just hear some shouting, and it's like, what are you waiting for? Kill him! And you start seeing them all run towards the wall. It's as that's happening there, you're just kind of in the corner of your eye, you see a certain gentleman that you were not expecting to see again.
Oh, Heimlim? I don't remember his...
No. A certain gentleman that you had saw speeding off in the car. There.
Oh, the Relish.
Well, Relish, Wooster, and also a few other gentlemen that you haven't seen before.
Okay. I go, hey guys, what took you so long?
We had to take a detour to gather up some reinforcements.
Got it. You ran off. Okay, cool.
Say hello to Mr. Peterson, Jackson, Pollock, and I do believe that was Farmson.
I look over them and I'm kind of dubious, and I say, "How are the Reds playing this year?"
They're out of the season. What are you talking about?
What time of the year is it? What month of the year is it?
You're from me off it. Have you been looking at the how the World Cup was going? Not the World Cup.
The World Cup.
Sorry,
bro.
no, the World Series. Sorry.
The 1920s were the heyday of baseball. If they were really Americans, they would have known how the Reds were doing.
Oh, give me a second. I'm pulling that up now on Wikipedia.
The correct answer is whatever the game master says is correct.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is correct because this is Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
Anytime that I ask a question in chat, you know I'm looking something up.
Yeah, I should have dawned on me. I wasn't expecting you to pull up the World Series winner. So
No, just I wasn't. I was just looking at what the overall, how they were doing overall.
World Series. Is this the Red Sox you're talking about?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, no, not the Red Sox. The Cincinnati Red.
Oh, Cincinnati. Oh, yeah.
That's true. That would be another way that they would be able to tell the difference. Is if they were Americans, they would have been like, "Oh yeah, the Red Sox," and if they were Americans, they'd be like, "Oh, Cincinnati." So I'm just testing them. I'm testing. Want to make sure that they're on the up and up. Because in World War II, they would ask questions that only Americans would know about baseball. And it was a common tactic for Americans overseas. They would ask about baseball.
So what they said, is that, oh, well, I can't believe you're asking about baseball at the moment. The Reds, they finished with, what was it, 91 wins to 63 losses. They did okay for themselves.
Yeah, they. I'm a Phillies fan myself, but I was curious. Yeah. All right. Well, just checking. You never know who you might run across out here in the wasteland. So.
I'm partial to the Red Sox myself, but can we get off the baseball and start shooting people here?
Oh. Now I know you're American. Got it. Okay. Don't want to perpetuate a stereotype. So so I go, hey, I've already been doing some stuff. You take out the zombies, and I'll try to blind a witch lady.
Right. So what's gonna happen here, right? Is this is us going into combat for real. So what the participants on Team Good there is our dear knight Wooster. There's 2 mobs of cowboys there. Now the difference with these mobs is they're minor NPCs. Okay, they're gonna only have 6 stress boxes. Okay, they don't get imperiled and doomed. So the second they take 6 damage, that's them either being killed or they're being run off. Okay, they've been broken and they're out of the fight. Your combat at the moment is purely against this horde, which is his own mob, but it's a supernatural adversary horde, right? So what's going to happen is anything that's, when it comes to so this is where the game, I haven't probably explained scale properly so far, is the horde is going to be a supernatural opponent. It's going to have a slight advantage against anything that's just using mortal weaponry. Okay? The knight's not going to have that disadvantage because he's actually playing on a slightly even playing field there when he's using his sword because it's magical. So, like combat from last week, we're going to work out who's going to start taking the first shots, or who's going to start taking the first action. It's really going to be on you guys, because the horde, it's not going to even be taking this action. It's starting to charge in. Okay.
Can I see evil cackling lady from where I'm at?
What you're seeing is you're seeing the. Give me a focus roll there, please.
I picked the right stat, man. Yeah.
Focus roll, please.
4.
You chose the perception skill of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
It's your focus is really about your ability to pay attention to things there and focus on it there. What you're seeing is you're not seeing the lady herself, or not fully, right? You're seeing a hand moving over the body of what you now assume to be Himmler, alright? And there's some muttering, but there's a soft emanating glow pulsating offset, so
Okay.
there's a slight glow from the altar that he's lying on, but there seems to be a much stronger glow, right?
So, ball of energy in hand.
It's more like a slight aura of it, light coming from the hand. It's not like a ball hanging off. It's more like, it's like if her hand was a light there.
Yeah.
But the energy that you're seeing, it's not like bright luminescent. It's a sickly green color you're seeing. And what happens is you see a flash just come off center and land there into
Flash of what?
It's a dark. You kind of like associate it as being. It's like what dark strands of like if it was smoke, but like black there.
So it just kind of showed up, or it came from somewhere, or
Well, it came off. So from what you can see, you're the light that what your view of is off the altar.
Yeah.
Himmler's body, and it would appear to come from it came from the direction of where that sarcophagus was there.
Okay.
And these actual dark strands, right, will literally go through both the eyes and the mouth of the body that's lying there, and it arches up, and then it's jerks right up, and you just see it turn to look at you, and a smile just spreads across its face.
Would I be able to, even if I can't see the sarcophagus, like I have a good idea where it is based on where we were in there before? Like, I might not be able to see it, but like I know it's that way, and the general look, I'm like, okay, it's coming from there, especially based on the fog.
Yeah, that's your assumption, is that's where this fog's come from. There.
Okay. So I would want to look over Wooster, and I'd say, hey, that German doctor buddy of yours that I've been trying to track, he just resurrected for the dead. Just FYI, you might want to shoot him in the head. And I want to redirect the moonbeam into a pulsing purple orb of evilness that's trying to control Keimler there.
You keep them
Like
distracted.
angle with my sword. What'd you say?
You keep them distracted. Me and Mr. Relish, we're gonna deal with the temple.
Got it.
Help him.
Like, can I? Because I figure if I can see, it's like a truck. It's like a Mack truck window. If I can see them, they can see me, right? And so I want to redirect that light if purple, green, black ooziness is bad, moonlight is good. Archaeologists know this. So I want to shoot this beam of moonlight into evil hand thing that's directing the action.
Right. What? Okay, give me a faith roll. There.
Plus, my sword is metal, so it can laser it a little bit, which is nice.
So faith roll.
All right. So that's mantle.
Yeah.
Got it. 6.
Okay.
Trying to break its concentration. Okay. And maybe like, I'm burning.
And so what's going to happen is, I was just bringing up, I'm going to spend one of my fate points there.
I'm writing something in the Twitch chat about that.
Damn it, he's started to use his own abilities. I can't have this.
I said boo.
I think I covered that there. So what happens is you just see the light that you're shining, that you're hoping would actually help you, okay? Just ends up just what happens there is that light shines straight right up, okay? And you actually see the face of Kimmler, right? And the smile, okay?
So did somebody redirect my redirection? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I was like, how does it go up? Okay.
No, it's getting redirected, and a smile just comes across his face and goes, I want to thank you for releasing me from my prison. My new servants have been most illuminating about the passage of time, but there is no stopping me this time. I will retrieve my artifacts, and I will rule the world. I'll give you this opportunity. You can bend the knee, and you will live. Oppose me, and you will perish. What is your answer?
I'm just trying to go through all my things here.
I think what to the audience, Evan's looking for a faithful version of a massive middle finger to appear right in front of Kimmler's face.
I'm just we're in combat, so I can only, because I did my action.
Yeah, that's your action. I'm giving you all. I'm giving all your guys to basically as a free action to shout. You know, you can F yourself, or even potentially pause it by trying to like suggest. Actually, we're interested. What's the opportunities that you give us? You know.
So this dude just took my amazing religious act of faith and turned it against good, which would really upset me.
Yeah.
You know, to the point that you know, he's defiling the order. He's insulting the name of asparagus. He's just doing all the things. I feel like Sir Renn would just take that opportunity. Is the horde like pretty much covering the floor at this point?
So what? The light from your sword, you mean, or?
No, no,
Oh,
the
you mean?
zombie horde.
Oh yeah, the zombie horde. They're starting to approach there, and they're starting to come into distance. There.
Because as I said in chat a few minutes ago, my character is all about taking a leap of faith. I think he would literally do that, and he would just like try to get down to that altar by any means necessary. Now, he's like, "Fuck you," and like dives into the mosh pit of zombies.
Right. Okay. So what? All right. I'll give you. What you do is you just do. You do a dive, come down, and just before you know you literally just splat, you do like you tuck yourself and you do a roll along the ground, and then come up into like a stance, crouching. And it's just as you that's your term, and that's when literally the zombies are running, right in.
I'm the distraction anyway.
And this is when. So what I'm going to give you is, as I said, I'm going to give you the mobs. The cowboys are going to have two. Each mob is going to have basically two bundles of dynamite. Okay. You guys can actually say, look, we want to use the cowboys to use their dynamite, and you can direct it either at trying to shut down that tomb, okay, or to actually or to use it against the zombies, okay. That's a +4 to their attack roll, okay, for using.
I was actually planning on stealing some of the dynamite and heading in as a commando style to raid on the temple and set up the bombs in there without.
Okay.
While the cowboys be the distraction.
Right. Okay. So you're wanting to steal one of the sticks. Right. Hold on.
Yeah,
This is how.
Not steal. I bought it.
Oh, right. Okay. What I'll do with you then, Wooster, we'll have an opposed roll. Okay. How will we do is, no matter how you do, how badly you do, you're going to at least get one of those sticks, right? But the better you do against me, you might be able to grab more of them. Okay?
That's like literally the plan on the route here. Like, okay, give Mr. Relish and dynamite. Your job is to guard, and we'll do the actual boom booms.
They're kind of.
She's got a point. We did discuss that.
Yeah.
I was there for that. I mean, not literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do is, in that case, then each mob, for you and Relish to have those sticks, right? I'll then decrease the. So what happens?
One of the mobs doesn't have dynamite.
That's what I'm gonna do then. Yeah. Okay.
They have half of the dynamite. I have the.
Yeah, that's what I'll do then. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and whatever is the guide's name, he never introduced himself, so I'm gonna call him Ahmed. What?
He called him that twice.
Sorry, I missed it.
He corrected you on it the first time when you called him Ahmed.
What he just said, I heard he said, that's not my name. That's it.
I'm called Fahid. I'm called Fahid.
Hey, I sided with you once, but I got to side with him on the other one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Fahid.
Yeah, GM can be wrong sometimes. I'm willing to put my hands up to that.
Yeah.
There.
Sometimes.
I missed it completely. Could have been that I was talking over you.
Yeah. Okay. So who's going to start first? Are we having the Cowboys, or is it you running off first? You, Wooster.
Oh, I'm planning on not running, but like sneaking. Like these are being loud. I'm gonna go from cover to cover, the old trench style.
Okay. Right. What? Right. Okay. Can I get your group? Like, so it's you, Relish, and Fahid there.
Fahid, yes.
Yeah, Fahid. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have you do the roll for them, okay? It's going to be... This is really, guy. It's more about you using the Cowboys to keep them distracted and them not to notice that there's someone trying to sneak up on them, okay? So it's just going to be based on on how well the plan's getting executed. Okay. I'm going to give you a +2 automatically because you brought 12 loud Americans who are shooting guns. So I'm giving you a +2.
That's a stereotype.
So I'm giving you a +2 automatically for it. All right.
The correct pronunciation of that is yeah.
So,
I hope they're from Texas.
so let's see how good the distraction of the cowboys is.
So what's the roll going to be?
A guile there.
Guile with +2 extra.
Yep.
Oh, God. Boy. Let's see what we got here.
Just for the
guile,
record, Lord, he's much better at that.
I don't think this thing gets temper pluses, so I'm just going to roll and add the +2 afterwards.
Yep, that's what I was about to say.
There we go. And I'm going to use a fate point on that immediately.
Yep. +3.
That's a -3, so I'm just going to use it as a reroll instead.
Ooh, you're going to roll. Go. And what's the aspect you're using?
Yeah. Obviously, Captain of the British Army. That means the orders are more Australian than I was expecting. There's a couple of Australians in this group because they also like to go boom boom.
Can you give him 1 extra point because he said I'm gonna use a fate point on that, which was the absolute perfect way.
I'm gonna use fate point on that.
That was brilliant.
That's fine. You guys, you're basically running through the cracks that you see through the walls. Basically, this entire horde is actually running for the wall that basically Evan's knight is actually straddling on, and that the cowboys are like on the other ends, or you're poking through like the doorways and the actual slits in the wall and taking shots through. They're entirely focused. You're able to get around, and you're sneaking around, and you're finding yourself just close to actually being able to, like, next kind of move would be you going down into the tunnel there. Okay, so that's your move. What actually happens is, as you're saying that, there's the fate. So it was the lady that was doing the actual magic hologram. Okay. Kim, the face of Kimler is just going to look around and goes, I think it's time for me to depart, but I'll let the machinations in front of you deal with you. I bid you fond farewell. And what happens is you see a bright light. So, like, Wooster will see a bright light literally shine from the corridor, and the same for what the knight will see, though, is a bright light will appear, and then it goes, and it's literally expanding into a rectangle big enough for a person to walk through, and on the other side is actually, it's not a desert, it's the best way to, it's actually sorry, it's not like the deserts around that you're expecting there, it's volcanic instead.
How far away is this? For me, I mean.
From you, there is. You've got basically the zombies. You're just seeing enough of this for the crowd there, but you'd be literally having to rush for the zombies there.
Yeah, but I mean, I get that there's all these zombies in the way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how far away.
Oh, how far away? We're talking about there being. It's going to be I've been using it entire day today. About, it's not going to be 50 yards this time. It's actually a 30-yard distance there.
Okay.
but it's before anything can be done. You just see two shapes step through there. Well, one shape steps through, okay, but the other one is just standing there, just at the edge, and it's just you hear the rat-tat-tat, the tap there, okay, of that Welsh drum still going off, and they're just standing there, you see the shadow of their silhouette, okay. And you've muted yourself.
Is that your turn then?
That's my turn. It's now you.
Okay.
It's your gentleman. Wooster's done his turn there with the accompany of Fahid and Relish, and then there's the two mobs there. You've already done your turn also, so it's
the top of the order, isn't it?
there's still the mobs
Okay.
there, and there's still my horde, really.
So zombie and okay, you mentioned that
the
before. Okay.
the cowboys are the mobs.
All right. So you want the cowboys go first or the zombies, Wooster?
Well, Potter.
Well, I'm thinking this time is you guys going to go here. I don't, because I think me moving my zombies first is going to be a bit too extreme. So I'm allowing you, because remember it's the last person that's taking the move decides who goes on the next one. But I'm actually going to give it to you guys. I don't think so. It's really.
So what are the cowboys going to do?
It's what you guys think the cowboys going to do.
Light up the fuses, boys. We're gonna take out these zombies the Australian style.
You were so close.
I know. It just
it was there. You had it. That's at the end. Well, they control them. Do what they're gonna do. And yes, that's what they're referring to in the chat, not the actual story.
Yeah, that's what I'm just making sure.
Right. Right, I'm going to do this Australian way that, won't we? Right, but okay, matey. So which roll am I going to be making for lighting up the dynamite?
Okay.
What?
So they're going to start throwing the dynamite.
Oh yeah, you're gonna start with blowing up these hordes with the dynamite.
Okay, so one more. So it's only one mob that's got their half of the dynamite, so they can only do it once, and then the next time they can do the other throw. Okay.
Exactly, mate.
Okay, so they're gonna do. So you actually see them start lighting their sticks. Okay. And they're gonna start tossing it. Can you just do a roll? So it's /roll space 4DF in the chat, and you can actually put the +4 to the code.
They don't get any extra bonuses from being American.
I'll give you. Right, give them a +2 for B. Yeah, give them a +2 also because they're going.
Not because they're American, because they're gold miners. That's different.
American gold miners.
Yeah.
Associated.
8.
8, yeah. 6. That's 6. That should be 9. Where? That's what I'm just double checking the code on, because that should be 9, shouldn't it? Oh no, sorry. I'm not thinking. Sorry, I'm not counting today. I do apologise. There.
You did hear it first, folks. The DM is not thinking. So
yeah.
That's always good to play.
Night.
Yeah, the DM should never admit to that, but I'll admit. All right. Okay. So what happens?
341, August 25th. I'm marking it down. DM didn't think.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what you're gonna see is some of the sticks get thrown out. Okay. there, and they land in the crowd, and they let you see huge explosions, okay, and bodies are getting flown all over the place, and there's actually not just full bodies, there's actually pieces of just arms flying all over the place. It ends up, when the dust clears, you're seeing that there's some zombies just like pulling themselves broken with just one arm there. But it's been quite successful. This has really thinned out the crowd there.
Did you say crowd or the crowd?
Crowd. D.
CROWD.
Yes.
Oh, because I was really looking forward to having the German being malnourished instead.
Okay.
Thinning out the crowd. Yeah.
Well, then it's zombie turn.
Yeah, I do believe we have another mob to go. This was the first one.
Yeah. So the zombies are gonna come in. The first person they're gonna actually come across in this turn is our dear knight here. Okay. So you're gonna find yourself doing a defense roll, sir, as they're gonna come in and try and do a resident evil on you. Okay.
Which stat?
Oh, this is the forces of evil. The guy that you're trying to stop has told these guys to stop you. I'm giving you your faithful.
Yeah.
On this.
At this point, I'm like laser focused. I'm like, nah, man, God ain't having this. So yeah, I'm definitely on board with that.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I got a 6.
Okay. Okay. So it's basically what's happening is, as you're going through, is you're just slowly just moving your way through, and the sword is just over the head for one, and you're just moving. It's like every step you're taking is just a slash somewhere, and it's just you're holding them off. There's like parts of body flying all over the place, and it's like you're just hearing in the background the cowboys going, "What the hell?" It's like the maniac's moving through them.
Do I hear them, or are they too soft?
Oh no, you're hearing it. They're like they're shouting.
So what if they say that? I say no, not what the hell. It's what the heaven, and I just keep going.
Okay, and it's the final mob of actual with cowboys. These are the guys they've just got their 6 shooters. Okay.
Let's show these fellas how Americans shoot.
So they'll get their +2 to shoot him. Okay. Is that road?
One.
Oh
Wow.
right.
Hot dang, man.
It's just gonna be my defense roll. There.
I mean, they're gold miners. They're not used to shooting a whole lot of stuff. So.
Oh no. The thing is, even though they're not the best shots in the world, it's just a massive wall of flesh.
Yeah.
Heading towards them. There it's. So it ends up being. You just see the occasional one just drop there, but it's just still a wall come towards you. Okay, now it's the next round. Wooster, who do you think is going to be starting at this next round?
I do believe the one to start the round should be the evil lady.
Okay.
Because she's not been acting quite in a while.
Okay.
And the rest of us have been getting our fair share of glory.
Right. So you just see the rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. she's just tapping on one hand. This is what the knight can see. He sees that one hand is just quickly doing the rat the tap, right? And this other hand is just wiggling, and a ball of crackling energy forms up, and it just shoots out. She's not actually aiming at you. She's aiming at the cowboys. There. That are shooting at the zombies. Okay. So let me.
She's gonna be aiming for the cowboys, but actually, when I jumped up from attacking one of the zombies,
Yeah.
just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
You're in the scene. You can do the Defender though. I think you've got.
Well, I can do either one.
The right place at the right time is for you to appear at a scene that you're not in. You're in the scene, so you can't do that one. It's you've got the Defender, which allows you to potentially put yourself on the blow. It's just like you.
Okay.
So
I see this ball of lightning, and I'm just and I go and do a field goal block essentially with my sword, right. and I
I'm just gonna get the exact word. What page is this? It's like 140 odds again for the.
It says once per session you may elect to suffer the outcome of any attack inflicted on any character in your immediate presence, preventing it from befalling them. This harm is taken at the same value as the original, and you may not roll a separate defense.
Yeah. So what happens is we're going to do... Wooster, if you do the roll, okay, for our cowboys.
And what's the roll?
Roll 40F there.
Just 40F?
Yeah. Okay, 2. I am gonna do my attack. That's a -1 on the roll.
I was wearing the wrong hats.
And I'll bring up corpse.
Because the knight, his objective is to stop evil and save lives.
Yeah,
so
no, I agree with that.
He's saving lives.
Yeah. What happens? This is going to be a +4. So this is alright. So that's +4 to attack. I'm going to use my scale there for her. So what happens is this is the advantage of scale, right? These are mortals I'm attacking. Okay. So they're mortal. She's actually otherworldly, so she's got a difference of 2, right? When I'm using scale, I can either use it before I do my roll, and I get a +1 for each difference, or I can wait at the end and get a bonus of +2 for each difference. Okay? So it's currently 4. I'm going to apply my scale. It's going to actually go up to 8. Okay? The difference in the attack is they roll 2, so it's 6. Okay? So
are we taking into account the legendary sword if it's trying to block it?
No, because you're going to take their damage. Okay?
Okay.
You're basically sacrificing your body, right?
Yeah. I got you.
Take it. So what's going to happen there is you're going to jump there, and this ball is going to hit you. That's going to do either 6 stress of damage to you. Okay?
That's all my hit points.
That's all your hit points. You've got Imperil or Doomed. Okay? If you do Imperiled, that will absorb 4 damage.
Okay.
And you just take 2. Or you could take the Doomed. Okay? Which would wipe out 6. But what happens is when you're doing the Imperiled and Doomed, you're then taking something like you're taking a nasty big cut where you're bleeding out there, or you're taking injuries that then have to be resolved afterwards. Actions have to be taken to heal you. Okay? While stress is more like you taking blows that you can just shove off, or minor cuts, but it might be stuff that will eventually just wear you out. But
so if I take the 6 in stress, but it knocks me, I have no more stress,
If you do that, you'll be out of the count there. But
Okay.
it'll be just the equivalent of you've taken like a knockout blow. You won't be able to do anything there,
Mm,
but you're not in danger of dying. I can't do anything to you there.
okay.
It'll just be you're out of the count. You can't continue. But it's just then if you take another one, you can take the Emperor. That'll be like a nasty big burn there that you're going to have to get seen to, and you won't be able to take another Imperiled until you get that resolved.
Yeah.
There.
I'm gonna take the 2 hit points in the peril.
Okay, Imperil. So you're going to get a condition there, and this is the thing. It's going to be something like you've got a nasty big burn. Okay, so if I've got these monsters and I do an attack, I could be tagging that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to actually potentially do more damage because they're specifically punching that, for example.
Got it.
But but you can do the same to my characters that are big major NPCs. They've got imperiled and doomed also, and if you do that to them, you can do the same back to them. Okay,
Got it. Okay.
right?
So at that point, the witch just went, so it's your call as to who goes next.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it that. So it was my guy, it was my corpse, it's my witch first. There, you jumped in front, so you're still gonna get your turn. But what I think is the fact that you jumped in front of their mates, okay, has impassioned the other mob, the guys with the Diamondite, to actually take action, okay? So it's you guys, you're going to decide what they're doing. Are they just going to rush in with guns blazing, or are they going to actually throw the dynamite? It's what they do is up to you. But I think they're going to be...
They did throw the dynamite already.
They still had another batch, because I was giving you 4 currencies, but you've taken 2 groups of sticks. They've got the other 2, okay?
Okay, in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're obviously going to go. Going to keep on using that dynamite because it was working so well, and this guy just saved our mate's bacon, so we might as well pay back the favor and clear out the debris for him.
Yep. So it's going to be the same roll. It's going to be the 4DF plus 6, okay?
While you're doing that, Wooster, Australians say mate. Americans don't. You've said that several times.
I'm intentionally doing the Australian.
Oh, okay. They're all got it. Okay.
This is the Australian group.
Okay.
There's the American group and there's the Australian group.
Got it. So they sound the same. We just add mate. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
Canadians will add A. Okay, I understand.
5. Ooh, okay.
There's only 5. So that's despite the passionate halving, they're using more pinpoint accuracy instead.
Yeah,
Less
fine.
damage, more selected targets.
You basically, what you see is they all kind of line out, run out behind cover, and they start lighting the dynamite, and they're literally they're taking, as you said, careful aim because there is friendlies in the crowd, and they're throwing it selectively. There, another row of explosions occur there, and it's make sure I'm on the right actual sheet. Nope, that's the wrong one. And even more bodies just fall down. At this point, you're probably, a quick glance at people, you're probably through about 3/5 of this horde. Okay? There.
Right. I think this clears the opportunity for the knight to do his thing.
Okay.
Do I have a clear path at this point to that portal?
You've not got a clear path there. This is the thing. It seems to be like every single remaining actual mob is like, as they're like the ranks are getting thinned out, they're kind of reshifting to form this barrier, but still move towards you. They seem to be focused on you.
I want to get to that portal by any means necessary.
Right, you're gonna have to basically attack yourself and go through that horde. Okay.
So I want to take my sword. So here's the pommel. Here's the point, and I want to use it like a jousting lance. Essentially, I'm just gonna shove it in front of me, and I'm just gonna run, and I'm just gonna go straight forward to make a full out sprint to that portal.
Right.
And
Okay.
and we're shish kebabbing any zombies on the way.
All right. Basically, what's going to happen is the witch sees this. She's going to just put every single one of them, order them to defend and just stop you, right? So, do your attack roll there.
Is that with mantle? I'm assuming that's mantle.
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
I have 1 fate point. I have not used the 1 fate point you gave me. I want to add +2. I want to get a 7 on this thing.
Okay.
I want to get to that portal.
All right. Okay. So 7. Right. Okay.
He's basically in Paladin Berserker rage.
What you're gonna hear, right, is there's gonna be a really increasing tap of the pace, right? And you're hearing her shout, "Stop him! Stop him!" And what's happening is they're just gonna be hitting on this to... Okay, so just thinking of the damage you're doing here. So you're doing an attack roll, and this is still thinning out the crowd. You're going to get most of the way through, okay? But you're going to be also surrounded by them. That's the thing, okay? So what? I'm just working out the damage that I've done here. So this is why she's basically forcing them to get around you. This is why you're not getting all the way through, because they're literally just focused on you now, okay?
Which is also why I added the +2 just in case. I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to be a big roll, so I need to add that.
Yeah, she's putting everything that she can to also try and stop you from doing this, okay? So, -1 + 3, and you're on a 7, right, okay. So what happens, it ends up being, you can't just end up shish kebabbing them, right? You literally just become a whirlwind, because you're literally just swirling around and just flip. And it basically ends up being a pile of bodies start falling as you're just going through them. It's like, if people are like casually looking at it, it looks like it's like, if there was maybe 100 odd bodies there originally, there's maybe only around maybe 20 now left there. But they are now focused solely on you there. You've got like 1 or 2 literally grabbing your angle, and you're literally just dragging like half of a body as you're moving forward. That's like,
Oh yeah. I'm going for the touchdown. We got like 50 defensive tackles on me. Like I get this. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's your role. Who's going next here? Corpse Taker. We had Corpse Taker. We had the mob. We had you. It's your design.
Is Heinrich Keimlich? Is he a
Kemmler is no longer in the picture. He's departed.
Okay.
Nearly departed.
Not that type of departed.
But I think that the
Pardon you.
has a sneeze. the other set of Cowboys would be stunned at this point. So I think it would be Team Red Sox at this point. I think it would be Wooster and Wooster and the Bagman and Fahid.
Okay. Wooster, you and your guys, what you're doing?
I do believe that Mr. Batman is about to set up the explosives for the temple using one of the munitions.
Okay.
While Wooster himself takes up some dynamite and detaches himself from the rest of the group,
Right.
leaving Fajid and Mr. Relish to do the actual planning, to the actual damage planting, and go ahead and lob some dynamite at the evil bitch,
Okay.
as they call her.
Right, I'm going to get you to do 2 rolls here, okay?
Fair enough.
First off, I'm going to get you, because you're throwing dynamite, and because I'm assuming you're going into the tomb a wee bit to actually, get inside of her to throw it, okay? Correct?
Mhm.
So, with the explosion, potentially, you're going to have to then, as you're throwing it, you're then going to be doing a run, okay? So, the run that you're going to do is basically your defense, right, from your own attack, okay? Does that sound good to you? It's just, if you want to do something, this is why I'm bringing it up. If you want to change your plan, there, okay?
Oh, no. Cool guys don't run from explosions.
Right.
Style
That's
before purpose.
fine that you're a cool guy. I don't know if Lord Wooster would be considered a cool guy.
No.
I mean-
I think you're a practical guy, yeah. I think you know how bad explosions...
Excuse me, gentlemen. Do you remember my flaw?
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
Style before practicality. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, what I'm willing to do, because you're doing that, I'll give you a fate point. You're not thinking about this. You're thinking, oh, I can stand here and watch my own work here.
It's like, I can throw it far enough.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'll give you a fate point for that, sir. Do a... So it's going to be a +4 to your attack. It's going to be a force because it's explosives.
You sure that's force? Because it's not my force.
Well, you're going to be doing... Well, it's going to be a +4. Well, unless you're... it's either...
I would say it's flair.
Right, because you...
I'm doing it with more style and panache than I'm doing it with actual purpose.
Okay. Fair enough. Right, no, I'll go with that. If that's how you're seeing how your character's doing it, you're not thinking about it. You're just
It's like coming into view, full view, hat cocked up, and wearing the hat and going, "Hey, lady!" I'm like, "Excuse me, missus, you do seem to be forgetting someone."
Right. Okay. So do your flare, and your
Well, add a +4, do it.
and the +4 because you're still using the explosive. There.
That's a 6.
Okay.
Not bad.
What happens is because you've actually have stated this, right? Okay. You've actually made your announcement. Okay. She's just going to turn, look at you, and you just see a shield, okay, appear. Or like a shimmering barrier appear in front of her. I should do that. 2. Oh, so that's a 1. Okay. For my roll. Okay. So, basically what you see is the tapping stops for a moment. Okay?
The lady's eyes narrow as the dynamite stick.
No, she doesn't have eyes. I asked about that. It's a floating ball of thing. we figured that out.
Fair enough.
Floating ball of things slightly elevates in your direction.
No, she's got eyes. Okay.
Man, if I had known that, I was trying to blind her when you. Yeah, that's all right.
No, no, the ball we're talking about was coming from that. Ah, sorry,
The
we've got
ball
mixed
was
up.
a magic ball.
Mhm.
That's
Was
all right.
like fireball,
Mhm.
you know, but made of lightning or something.
That might be the next incarnation of her. She's just got floating energies in her eyes instead. Okay, so she's gonna take. Hmm. Right. Yeah. So what happens is the tapping stops there. You see the energy kind of just forces her back. Okay. But but as the smoke clears, she just kind of dusts herself off with no apparent harm. Wooster, you're
I don't share the shield.
yeah, you're having to do a defense roll. So when you're doing that, what are you doing? Are you going to just be standing there thinking, you know what, nothing can happen to me. I'll walk throughout a war with no issue, or are you guys going to realize your mistake and run? It's up to yourself. What are you doing here?
Uh, the moment the explosion begins, Wooster goes, "Oh fuck!" and dives.
So you, right, a haste. You're going to like go, oh crap, and do a haste roll there.
Ooh, that's a negative one. I'm gonna use that fate point you gave me
Yeah.
to reroll,
Yes. I'm sorry, it doesn't do.
and that's cool under fire. He's like, oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay. You're going to take free stress. Okay. Or you could take imperil and not take any damage, but you're taking that, and so you're not taking stress, but you're going to take you'll take the free stress. Okay.
It's like, ooh, that was close. I almost lost my hat.
But as you're like looking, you're noticing that there's like wee specks of blood because like chips of stone have hit you in the arm, and there's like crap, you're sweeping things off there. Right. So that was you. Who's next? There.
I do believe it's the horde.
Right. Okay. So the horde. Pardon me. Right. Okay. So what's going to happen is the tapping restarts. Okay. And you hear the scream from the witch, where she is just saying, "Stop! Stop the act! Stop the night! Stop him! Stop him!" You're hearing a wee bit of desperation in her voice. Okay. And so they run in to do the attack. Okay. I am going to use one of my fate points to reroll. Hopefully that's better. Oh. Okay. And I'll use that last one to use that.
You're gonna re-roll twice, man. That must
No,
not
I'm using one of my resources. So I've
okay.
used my last fate point.
Yeah.
There. I've used basically one of the last resources because the Horde's got a resource as they're obeying it, they can activate an aspect without fate.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's them used it all up there.
Got it.
And then right, so Nectarform. Right, so their attack on you is going to be a +3, so you're needing to roll your defense there.
Which is mantle.
You can do Banto, yeah.
Because I'm just whirlwinding towards the portal.
Yeah, exactly.
5.
5, yeah. So you're just knocking everything off the actual attack there. Just going to double check something about. maybe actually a stunt. I think it's a stunt. I'm remembering now. Not yet. Okay, so it's just a difference of 2, right? So it's just basically everything that's you're doing. You're basically whirling, and it's just that the zombies are just backing off. You know, every time one approaches, you're doing something. They're just enough of them just back off in time, or they lose the occasional hand or something like that. Okay, but they don't. It's basically as a standoff. That's all they've done. Okay. Okay. It's Relish is, as you said, he's getting the dynamite set off. It's really then the last
Just
one.
the other set of cowboys.
Yeah, and it's the shooters there. So what are they doing?
Okay. Boys, take aim.
I'm assuming so who are they aiming at? Here's my question.
Is the horde still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably their main target.
Okay.
I don't know. Is the lady in there?
Well, she's kind of slightly, in the underground bit of the tomb.
I don't think this mob has the coordination to change target
Yeah.
while this one's still on. So they're gonna keep on.
They don't have an organized leader there because you're doing other stuff. So yeah, they wouldn't like all suddenly go to the witch.
Okay.
Sorry, just my
0.
Okay.
These guys are not good at their job.
No, what they are? They're good at mining. they're very good at mining.
This is
And dynamiting. Somebody just took their dynamite away.
what you're just seeing is they're starting to really get kind of nervous. They're like, so if people are watching, you're just seeing that, and also they're shooting into a crowd where the night is. So you're seeing there's like every time they're about to take a shot, there's like a wee bit of hesitancy because they're around seeing catching the night, and they're hesitant and shooting him in the back because he literally just dived in front of them and took a ball of something. So it's like they're shooting, but it's like it seems like half the shots are getting thrown off because there's a hesitancy there, and there's like, or the occasional shot just hits like a shoulder, and like you see or someone go like that, but they then go back to attacking the knight. Okay. I think that's everyone's next round there. So it was you guys going. Who goes next?
Well, would it be terribly unfair if it was Mr. Relish and Fahid?
What you're gonna see is Fahid's just maybe what he's probably doing with Relish is he's maybe just pointing out the best spots. Okay. So it's like him and Relish are kind of working together. Okay. And he's pointing out places where you can actually spot, place the dynamite. So that's what they're doing. But what you're probably going to find is they're not going to set the dynamite with you inside,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. My point was to distract this lady for a moment, and then bid farewell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm saying before they can go, you need to at least, get yourself out.
This is a point where the military exercise says, okay, the trap is set, distraction on. It's like, chase me.
Yeah, but you got to remember your manservant is loyal to you, and
Yep,
he's not wanting to blow you up. That's the thing.
I know. What I'm saying is what Wooster is doing. Wooster is following his protocol, going, okay, everything is cool. I have gotten the attention of the enemy. My job now is to try and make them chase me as I go out, so they'll come into the boom.
Right, so really it's probably you having to go first in that case.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. So, Wooster is going first.
Right. This is what I'm wanting to be kind of clear, because you got to remember your manservant's not going to do an action where he's going, I'm going to blow up my own employer. He's not going to do that. There.
Yep. So, right. Well, I do believe it's time for me to skedaddle.
Okay.
Hopefully getting the lady to follow up because I'll be out of her view.
Right.
But she's angry because I tried to blow her hair up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
run behind corner and keep on going.
Right. Give me
Guile?
No, this is just going to be a pure haste roll.
Oh,
Very.
okay.
I see. It's just basically how much speed, how much you get. It's just basically the distance you're going to get. Okay.
Fair enough.
On that, I would just say.
Get up, Buck. That's
Okay.
a 3.
Right. Okay. So you run. You're not the fastest, but you get enough speed going that you're literally finding yourself running up into the open area of the actual Temple of Karnak. And you're actually kind of stopping for a moment, and you're pretty, God, I need to exercise. You know, you're literally thinking, I need to exercise a wee bit more. There.
Cheers, mate.
Right, who's going next?
Well, I do believe it's the the lady.
Yeah, she.
Isn't Fahid and Relish going next? Wasn't that the whole point?
The point was to attack the lady into a position where she goes boom better, and for that she needs to act first.
Ah, okay. Got it. Just one clarification.
No, that's fine. This is where I have to disappoint you, unfortunately, Mister. What happens is she was looking at you, but her attention, you're not the main threat. It's the knight that's the threat. There. And after she had seen the explosion go, her eyes had moved back over and was watching the knight. And but she's seen that he's just working his way through the horde. And what ends up happening there is she takes one step backwards through the portal, and it just closes up. And as the drumming has stopped, the remaining bodies just drop down to the ground. And silence once again reigns over Karnak.
Thing happens boom. Because the orders have not changed.
And then it's like,
Well, it's up to you, of course.
no, I'm willing to give that it's like no one notices, and then there is just a crack of explosions, and certain pillars fall down, but to no avail.
Are we still in combat or not?
No.
The combat is over.
Yeah,
That's a good point, by the way, because we're 20 minutes over schedule.
Yep. And that's why I was ending it this way. And the combat's over.
We'll have to see the aftermath next time.
Exactly.
Sources of power.
Exactly.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us for this magnificent display of horrible accents.
Speak for yourself. I did just fine.
Yeah, it's your own accent, so it's easy enough to do.
It's not an accent if you speak it natural.
Yeah. We're on chapter.
Fine. I'll have to learn the other ones then.
Aftermath.
Harry Potter and all that.
Right. So, how did people enjoy this session?
Chat
It
first, I
was
suppose.
a lot more action than last time. I'll give you that.
I am very bummed that I did not get to the into the portal. I want that was the goal from the very beginning. Get to the portal, and DM was like, "Nah, just kidding, bro."
Yeah. No.
And as soon as Wooster said the lady's gonna go next, I was like, "Well, there goes my portal."
Yeah.
As soon as he said it, I was like, "Nope, I'm out."
There's no way. She's just her main basically attack was using the horde, right? Okay, she has a nice bag of tricks, but she used the horde because she goes, these guys are very nasty. He's just went for my small army. No, I'm stepping out of this. You know, I've achieved my objective. Okay.
I was gonna baseball slide right into that portal, and we would have split the party by continents. Like it was a whole. I was ready, man. I was going for it. I was like,
Uh,
okay, next turn, just put me in next before the lady. Just put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
the funny thing is, you wouldn't have been splitting your party by continents. It would have been realities.
Yeah. Well,
You would been going into Never Never
so
or
the
another realm.
Well, Mr. 1% had to stop that. So Frog Scanner says, "Darkness comes. What are our heroes going to do about it?"
Yes.
We'll see next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was actually going to give an answer, but they don't want to. So okay. I guess.
Yeah. So what? So apart from more action, you guys enjoy it? There.
Blink says, "Put a condom on it." I don't know what he's referring to exactly.
Darkness comes.
I mean, he might be talking about my very overly large sword, which is possible.
Nope. Nope.
Oh,
Wooster had it.
I
Darkness
got it.
comes. Yeah.
I got it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think it. I think it went very well. I really liked the portrayal of Fahid. I think that went well. Yeah, I think that was my favorite part of that scenario. Was I think the Arab influence was portrayed very well. So yeah. Any questions from the audience?
Yes.
And by audience, I mean Blink effing poop and or Frog Scanner, because those you guys seem to be the ones that are talking the most. So.
Also, anyone else is encouraged to speak up and ask questions.
Yeah. All I'm seeing is green and purple and green and purple and green and purple.
Purple, green.
Blink, thing, poop. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
We just call him Blinky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm still getting used to the to die for a community. Sorry about that. How's D enjoying GMing for a change?
I'm actually enjoying it fine. I like telling stories. I like coming up with things. The thing I like, sometimes the thing I always find difficult as a gamer is when you're in a story, you're not 100% sure. You don't know all the answers, so sometimes you're like, is me taking this step going to be the best, the way to actually resolve it, or am I just causing more trouble for no resolution to the story, And
you and I have very different thought processes. My thought is always, story be damned, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
That is always my thought.
Oh, if I'm playing a barbarian, I do that, but it's at the same time, it's like half the time, it's like I do sometimes take a bit more of a measured approach. The thing is, like, I'm fine with, I love about GMing is, they've went through this entirely circuitous route that I was not thinking of. I have to replace this this plot hook somewhere else, potentially, or am I having to invent an entirely new plot hook? So it's interesting from, like, so there's like some instance, like, with me playing this Landis and Babylon project where I had to think outside think out my arse for improv of a solution. It feels like I'm having to do that all the time now.
So how many, you have to tell us what they are, obviously, but I'm curious, like, how many hooks and directions did we kind of skirt that you thought were going to go in a different direction this episode?
Actually, this one, well, I wasn't actually expecting Wooster to do the runner, actually. There.
Oh, I was. The dude will run at any instant.
I thought he might, the fact that potentially his command had been slaughtered, he might have went, I was hoping he might go after the one that had done it. There, that was what I was hoping for. No, to be fair, I thought him doing a runner was a possibility, but at the same time, he's also a war hero, so I was hoping there was another chance where he could have went after for revenge there.
Discretion is better part of valor.
Yeah. And that's
I was mathematically outgunned and outmatched.
and that
So getting reinforcements was the tactic most surviving war.
Yeah, but style over practicality.
Yeah.
That's like your.
and that was the other one. Is I was looking at that and I was thinking that was what might have came
That's
into.
why he went with the car.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his style.
That's why Relish was driving and not him. He's the better driver of the two,
Yeah.
but it doesn't fit his style to be in the driver's seat in public.
All right, so Blink asks, and this is super appropriate. We actually talked about this over the break, which is how we ended up doing this in the second half. He says, "I like the hats by Wooster. How many different hats do you have?"
Come back next week and I'll show you some more.
We were actually talking about because we were talking about the Cowboys. And I mentioned 10-gallon hats, and lo and behold, both of the Europeans have a 10-gallon hat when the American doesn't. And he just goes over to the thing up in the left top left corner there, like his vase, and there sits a 10-gallon hat. And so and so that was not planned. It was literally during the intermission that happened by accident, unintentionally. So that kind of worked out. Frog says at least one more. I'm assuming so. I'm sorry to say I don't have any Knights helmets to offer.
I am disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I thought about bringing my sword once I saw you starting to change your hats, but I was like, I'd have to leave the comment. Blink says, "Is it a fez?"
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I have a fez, actually. I could wear, but we're already there. Hey, you don't need that. That is not for you. This whole thing. That's my bit. All right. Any final questions before we head out?
Yeah.
We got time for one more, I think, if I'm assuming the timing right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any questions at the moment, but I would like to pitch in that we do have an episode coming from both Babylon Project and the Sources of Power next week. I don't have anyone say that they are not available for the game session. So, we should have full team on both occasions.
What will be is next weekend for Sources of Power. I forgot to mention is that is going to be potentially my mum's it's my mum's birthday, so potentially there might be a family dinner. So
we'll reserve that for your mother. You never did your mother if you're in relations.
Exactly.
Especially if you live with your mother.
Yeah, I still live in the family house. Yes.
So you are not betting on that. So we are. I'm as the executive producer. I'm calling it no
sources next week.
No sources next week. Okay. There. So that gives me 2 weeks to think up what's going to happen.
And 2 weeks for me to keep a Blinky waiting for the new hat. Because I'm not using the hats while we play Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Man, just think of what had happened if Wooster had not closed the portal on us. You would have had 2 weeks to come up with much more interesting stuff. I'm not salty.
Hey, I'm a Kaful guy. You split the party; it's more fun.
Oh, I'm not blaming you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all, it has been a pleasure playing, and so we will see. You'll see them on other things, but you Sources of Power 2 weeks from now, September 8th, and that will be where we pick up after the Battle of Karnak. We'll see where Team Red Sox goes from there.
Yep.
See you on Babylon Project on 31st.
Yep.
Last day of
August.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, so bonus nachos, everyone. Bonus nachos.
Bonus nachos.